What up, Fightful fam? Shaquille Madjoui here with Lucas Grandsire, MMA journalist over at My MMA News and Beyond. We're doing a little UFC 256 watch-along companion podcast, whatever you like to call it. We are streaming live on Fightful MMA's YouTube, Fightful on Facebook, my Twitter, Fightful MMA's Twitter, and taking over Sean Ross Sapp's Twitter. 60,000 followers, about to get a good shot of my ugly mug. Lucas, thanks for joining me, man.
You talk about ugly mug, and then you mention my name right afterwards.
I said my ugly mug. What are you saying,
yeah,
man?
the people they associate it, they know, they can see us. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Well, I thought, we're going to be doing this either way. You're going to be watching the show. I'm going to be watching the show. We might as well get the Fightful community involved a little bit. So if you're clicking on here expecting an illegal stream of the fights, sorry, can't help you there, but you should know better than to look on YouTube for that kind of stuff. Beyond that, man, hit us up in the live chat. We'll try and get to your comments, questions. Leave us a super chat donation on YouTube. That's the best way you can help our channel grow. It means the world to us. And if we're a little behind, there is a delay between when we're talking and when the feed actually hits you, about 20 seconds or so. So pay no mind if we're not quite synced up with what you guys are. If anything, you'll know before we know. So look out for our delayed reactions. Lucas, how'd you like the prelims, man?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got home from work. I got everything set up downstairs. I didn't get a chance to watch everything. I know Cub Swanson got a big KO. We saw Chase Hooper show off his submission skills, but I didn't really get a chance to. I was kind of scrambling.
That's all right, man. It's part of the deal. But we're here now. Main card starting shortly, and I don't even know what's up first. Let me take a look. Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I know.
Junior. Wait. Maybe you can help me. How do you pronounce the name of the guy that Junior Dos Santos is fighting?
So it's weird because a lot of people were saying Gane, that was his last name, but I didn't see an accent. So for me, if you wanted to say it the French way, the right way would be Cyril Gane. For me, that's how you would say it. But if John Anik says it differently, then people are arguing about it on Twitter, but he's the man. So if he says it a different way, go with him.
There is no arguing with John Anik. If he says it, it's the truth. Ron, thank you for the heads up. We will boost the audio a little bit. Let us know, guys, if anything with the feed is catching you, whether it's the mic volume, the video, anything else, let me know, because I can work on that over on this end. So let me try boosting your voice a little bit. All right. Lucas, how's it going?
Yep. How's it sound?
Okay, cool. I could probably bump you up more. Yeah, Ron, you're the best, dude. Let us know in the comment section if you need us to do anything with the audio. I bumped up Lucas quite a bit. Let me know if that works any better for y'all.
Yeah, I do have to full disclosure. I'm not yelling because, I have people sleeping upstairs, but also behind me, I have my 14-week-old puppy sleeping. So, if I don't want to take him out to pee every 5 seconds or, all that stuff.
Gotta let him sleep.
Yeah,
you gotta let him sleep.
And he sleeps through the night, so it's a miracle, and you don't want to mess with that.
100%. I think it sounds good now. It sounds good on my end, but you guys will let me know. Let me throw this out on Twitter. Guys. Okay, what is your fight of the night prediction right now moving forward, excluding everything that happened on the prelims that you obviously did not watch?
I like the obviously. I made it sound like,
you just said it.
I like the heavyweight fight, but I'm not sure that'll be fight of the night. I don't know, man. Main event, Mackenzie Dern could surprise us. I think it sounds like she's going to want to strike, and show off some of that power. So, but it might be Kevin Holland versus Jacare. I think that one's going to be
that'll be a cracker. I just feel like Tony Ferguson and Charles Oliveira is excitement personified on all fronts. Tony's striking is so in your face. It's so grimy. It's so diverse. And Charles Oliveira, I was talking to Drake Riggs about that over on 1-2 Punch. We got the same overlays. Doing a little plug for that. Check that out Fridays, 2:15 p.m. Eastern, 11:15 on Fightful's YouTube and wherever you get your audio podcast goodness. But I was saying, I love this fight because I feel like Charles and Tony mirror each other in a lot of ways. What you have is obviously Charles Oliveira is the greater submission threat. Tony Ferguson is the greater striking threat, but Tony has a very offensive, choke heavy, scrambly submission game, and Charles Oliveira arguably the best offensive submission fighter in the UFC, if not in all of MMA. But if you saw in that Kevin Lee fight, he's throwing combinations, he's pressing forward, he's throwing knees, elbows. I feel like these guys are really similar. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Drake, which is, do you think that Tony Ferguson's grappling is closer to Charles Oliveira's grappling than Charles's striking is to Tony's? Meaning, who do you think has sort of overall the greater combined MMA skill?
You know what? Let me throw out a hot take. I think we're going to see Tony snatch a submission like second round or something over Oliveira. I mean,
he's been tapped. Charles has been tapped.
And that's the thing about Charles is he's so good on the ground, but at the same time, I feel like the willingness to go to the ground opens him up. So I feel like, the closest to grappling, I feel like that's really where we're going to see like a lot of similarities, and they may even cancel each other out. So, I would never count Tony out for something like that. And, I'm excited for this fight, man. I mean, Tony, people were talking about a fight this week. It was the Edson Barboza versus Tony Ferguson fight. And for me, that's one of my favorite fights ever. And I haven't rewatched it since I watched it live just because I'm afraid it won't hold up in my mind. So I remember watching it. I was amazed. Like, holy crap. Like this, it's action. It's so I have high hopes for it. And if it ends up being disappointing, I'm going to be disappointed.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I think we're in for a good show. I've got nothing but optimism for this card. And let me see where we're at right now. Looking like we still got some promo for Tony. Man, I am so excited for Tony Ferguson to be back. Like, you got to remember, he got whooped by Justin Gaethje, but he almost knocked him out in the second. And I also talked to Drake Riggs about this, which is, listen, I know a lot of guys in MMA media don't want to state their biases. I will state it. I want to see Tony Ferguson win, and that is no disrespect to Charles Oliveira. I just think Tony has taken a lot of damage, and this might be his last big run towards a title. At most, he's probably 2 wins away from another title shot, depending on how especially if Khabib doesn't come back. I think that immediately opens things up. If Khabib does come back, he doesn't want to fight Conor. He doesn't want to fight Dustin. He's not going to fight Justin. If we're not getting George St. Pierre, Tony Ferguson might be one of the only guys left in the lightweight division that Khabib would be open to fighting. So I want to see that happen. It's so it's got to happen at this point. The fact that I can even reach out with a little bit of hope for Khabib versus Tony. I want to see Tony get the win. And depending on how Charles looks tonight, I feel like he's, a real potential future champion.
You're testing the MMA god, Shaq. I don't like it. I mean, just for that, we're gonna see Oliveira get the first round knockout. I mean,
probably
the MMA gods don't like that, Shaq. You can't do that. Don't talk about.
I am the MMA god.
Oh God! Did you force yourself into this chat,
yes, I
Sean?
forced myself, and you kept me in the waiting room forever.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry. Well, I have an overlay for this, man.
I know. Come on. What is this?
This is not what I wanted.
No. Here, I'll do it for you. There you go, rookie.
That was genuinely terrifying.
But come on, you kept me in the waiting room forever, and I did just come by here to mess with your overlay. That was it. Like, I came by here to just.
I don't have a 4-person one for Jeremy. So,
bam. Like, I can take over this show, but I am genuinely excited.
Sean, if you're gonna take over, can you at least do me a favor and retweet this?
I did.
Did you?
I tweeted it. It's live on my Twitter right now.
It is live on your Twitter right now.
Live on my Twitter.
I told everyone on the Among Us live stream, Shaq has taken over Fightful Pro Wrestling little by little. I'm going to take away everything that you love. And
we're starting a Twitch, so you won't be able to do that soon. But I mean, we're going to have a dedicated Twitch for stuff like that. Make sure you guys subscribe whenever that is. But I don't pay as much attention to MMA as I used to because I got you to cover that now. But I looked at this card and I was like, you know what? Not a bad card. Pretty excited for it, honestly.
Lucas, Sean, say hello to one another.
Hello, Lucas. I've spoken to Lucas before. I'm very, very familiar with him. But I thought this has been a pretty fun show. The Tisha Torres drubbing was pretty incredible. The Chase Hooper heel hook and a couple finishes. And then we get like Dos Santos, Kevin Holland, Mackenzie Dern. Like, it's a pretty solid show.
Oh,
it was a good time.
Yeah.
As Shaq slams away on his
I do it. I got an aggressively you're messing with the overlays, just trying to prove a point. Yeah, well, unfortunately I still have a job to do, Sean.
Well,
you would know. You hired me.
Such struggles. Guys, make sure you send super chats. That stuff really helps. I guess I'm gonna hit the bricks. I got an Impact Wrestling show and AAA I gotta cover too.
Are you coming back at some point, or is this it for
I'm
the
coming
Great
back. I'm coming back. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
All right, guys.
Don't be ridiculous.
We need a hook here. There we go. Sean Rossap, always making a mess of everything, but it is why we love him. All right, guys, give me a minute as I fix this overlay, and we're back. Look at that, guys.
Our overlays. Oh my god.
Yes. Guys, I'm going to do things a little different than Sean just because I love you and I don't want your wallets to hurt too bad. Leave us one super chat, any amount, $1, 1,000. I've got my preference, but it's all good. And we'll get to all your questions and comments. Anytime I see you on the feed, I will read what you got to say. So that would be great. Show Sean that he did not make an absolute mistake hiring me. Because who knows? I might be on the chopping block. It's UFC. Hey, it's the end of the year. Dana White's cutting fighters from the roster, and I might be getting cut from Fightful MMA. So let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Look at that. You put that fear in your shot. You got to be confident, man. You can't cut me. I am Fightful MMA. You know, you got to be confident.
I truly am Fightful MMA.
Give me a little Denzel speech. Think you can do this to me? I mean, you got to. Come on, Shaq.
You know, I've got this bowl of ramen noodles just sitting here cold, and I don't think I have the confidence to eat it on camera. So I don't know what's going to happen with my dinner.
Your mic so we don't have to hear the
the slurping. Yeah, I could. Dude, I have an aggressive. It's fucking fruit fly. I've got an aggressive slurp. Check this out.
Oh man, it sounds like my grandparents every time we have coffee. Holy crap!
Oh my god, are these gnats falling into my dinner? I really hope not.
So this show is brought to you by Bang Energy.
Wait.
Bang, right in the energy.
Yo, we gotta get listen. All of our sponsors over at Fightful Pro Wrestling are penis sponsors. Or they're penis enlargement, penis shavers, and cereal. So I feel like Bang beverages are something we could definitely add to the suite. We should pitch that one to Sean.
I mean, this would be my first ever time drinking. Somebody at work was like, "You need to try it. It's better than a 5-hour energy." I sound like I'm trying to sell it to people. And the flavor is called Birthday Cake Bash, which sounds disgusting, but I'm a man of the people, and I'm willing to find out for science.
Sorry, did you say this was an energy drink?
Yeah.
I'm not, dude. They made the energy drinks get me too hard. Like I could drink a big ass cup of coffee, not feeling a thing, but there's something about the energy drinks that really hardwire me.
Yeah, caffeine does nothing. 5-hour energy is like a 5-minute energy. I mean, it's.
Deep right. Are we showing the fights? Leave a super chat donation and I might tell you.
Businessman right here.
Gotta keep some secrets. Yeah, Sean really wants those, of course. Let me see what people got to say. Again, guys, I'm seeing so many comments here and I want to get to them, but I'm feeling stingy today. Let me see what's going on though. I will answer Caleb though because I eviscerated him in our game of Among Us. I said mean things to him, which I regret. It was all in the spirit of competition. He apparently this is how cool Caleb thinks he is. He apparently said "screw you, Shaq" in the gaming live chat over at Fightful Pro Wrestling, and then deleted it, but not before Jeremy Lambert read it on the air. So I see you, Caleb. He says you eat ramen with chopsticks or a fork. Chopsticks all the way, but this was not mine. It was given to me by my dad, and it came with a fork. So what am I gonna do?
Sure, Shaq. Sure. Hey, you don't have to convince us, man. Yeah. Oh, I'd eat it with chopsticks. It's all right, man. Tell the truth.
Yeah, I'm a chopstick guy. I don't think I'm a good chopstick guy. Like, I've got friends who grew up with chopsticks, and like. I think like the scale of how good you are depends like how far back on the chopsticks you could hold it and still be effective. And I'm like halfway, but there's dudes who can hold it like from the very end of the chopsticks and make it work. So, are you one of those guys?
I don't chopstick. You know, oh goddamn American Shaq. That's not true. That's not true.
That is not true.
No,
that is not true at all.
No, actually, yeah, no. I'm a permanent resident. No, it's close. But no, I don't use chopstick, man. We're French. We impose our culture on people. We don't, adopt other people's.
Where in France are you originally from, Lucas?
the southwest of France. So like, I was born right on the border of Spain.
Okay, now I am one of these tourists who thinks that the people of Paris are terribly mean and the streets are filthy. As a native of France, do you subscribe to that idea, or are are Parisians actually nice?
No, they're not. I mean, but they're notorious for it. It's like, it's like visit at your own risk, but it's famous for that. It's like everybody says France is great, but the people suck. So, I mean, and there's certain instances they're not wrong. That's why you got to, go more towards the south, and that's where people are known for being nicer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll make sure to circumnavigate around Paris and make my way down and around next time I plan that trip, if we're ever permitted to travel again. That is.
Yeah, that's right. Let me see. All right, for this fight, though, I don't know if you want to do predictions, but you know what?
Go for it, man.
I'm willing to bet we're going to see that big punch from Gan. We're going to see JDS huddle up like he always does, a few follow punches, and we're going to be sad.
If I see Junior Dos Santos' back against the fence one time this fight, I will throw a tantrum.
Yeah.
JDS, stay off the fence, dude.
It sucks because he can't take the power like before.
Exactly.
I mean, but it's not even like his chin crumbles. It's almost like mentally, kind of like him and Arlovsky. They have this thing where they just you feel like they can't take the punches like they used to, but they don't get knocked out either. So it's a weird one, and it's sad for sure.
100%. I will be from time to time a little peek behind the curtains. Still have some other editorial duties. Got a main card highlights video to get up. So if I go a little silent, Lucas will give me his best Joe Rogan impression to help kill the dead air.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, man. I had a 11-hour work day, all that stuff, man. You're gonna make me carry the Fightful stream.
Yes, and for anyone wondering about my toilet seat-esque bar stool, it is right here. It's just you can't really see it at the moment.
See, I want to talk about that because I feel like you're always standing during all your interviews.
I am.
How?
Well, my upper back and my neck hurt more than my feet, my lower back do. So I'm just sort of evening out the pain across my entire body.
I couldn't do that. I'd be shifting, swaying, like, people get distracted. Like, Lucas, stop dancing. I couldn't do that.
Oh, dude, it happened. Like, you'll see me once in a while, like, do one of these on camera. But I had a couple personal training sessions, and I finally found some weightlifting techniques that have actually helped sort of absolve, plus stretching and massaging have kind of helped with some of the pain. So the way I look at it is like, really the best thing you can do is get a sit stand, but I've got like this really shitty crank one from IKEA. The way I look at it is I'm going to spend like 8 hours of my day sleeping, 8 hours of my day sitting. Might as well spend the other 8 hours standing. So,
well, you should get what James Lynch has. It sounds like he's got the expensive chair.
Those are nice. Those are nice. Yeah, I looked into it. Down the line.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's on the list of like expensive stuff I want to buy when I have a little excess money. But it's right now I have a chair that has zero flexibility, doesn't move. It's hard. That's why for this stream I'm on the couch. It's like
gotta be comfy, dude.
It's like I'm gonna die if I try to do
all right
in my office.
Here we go, guys. Referee Jaron Vallel getting us prepared. First fight of the main card: Junior Dos Santos versus Lucas. How do you say his name?
Cyril Gann.
Wow, that is terrific. I had John Anik muted, so I didn't get to hear what was going on. But
yeah, I muted too because I know it's going to be so much noise. And
yeah, I think we can make do with this.
Does JDS not have a mustache?
Did JDS win his last fight with his mustache?
That's off the top of my head, like
It's so bad. Like at this point, there's so many fights I can't keep track of. Like JDS's last fight. No, Rosenstruck knocked it off. So. Oh, look at this. So you got a good kind of guillotine-ish submission attempt. Junior Dos Santos gets out.
He's not gonna get JDS with something like that. There's no way.
I like the wrap though. It looked like his head was pretty far along Dos Santos's back, so I thought he might be able to sneak his arms in there. Show us his business, dude. Gun?
Yeah.
He's mobile, dude. He's a natural heavyweight. Like he's lean and he's built and he's strong.
Right.
He's got good kicks. It's like I have a video with Brandon Vera dropping Sunday 6 a.m. Go check it out. Some iteration of one championship fighters reacting to the 10 best knockouts, 20 best knockouts in one championship history. But that's another guy, dude. He makes heavyweight no problem, 240s, and he's lean. Like, you see all of his muscle profile. This is like, I think, the norm now for heavyweights. It's that sort of 225 to 245 range, less fat, not so much the lazy guys who don't want to cut down as much as it is like the genuinely big athletic dudes.
Well, that's what you want too, is you want heavyweights where if you asked them to cut to 205, they'd be like, there's no way it's going to happen. And this guy, if you ask him to cut 205, no way. I mean, he looks good and strong.
EA UFC 4 is an objectively bad game, and this is coming from someone who spent way too much time playing UFC 3.
Well, it's UFC 3 that was I guess, more fighters.
Yeah, basically. And I don't know, the system, it just hasn't aged well. I think like when I'm playing EA UFC 3, I have a certain expectation of what I'm going to get, and when they don't improve on it after 2-3 years, I'm kind of like, it doesn't feel fresh. It feels stale. It feels aged out.
Well, what I don't like is the knockout animations. Like, I think UFC 2, they did like you get like a random whatever happens. In this one, you have like 13 animations. I hate that.
Someone's asking, when will Tony Ferguson fight? He's the co-main. I think it's a 5-card main card. So we are 20% of the way through the main card, and he's going to be at the 80% mark. So you do that math and get back to me.
You want to score these rounds live, or you want?
Yeah, let's do it, man. What else do we have to do here?
No, but that's the thing, is you got to concentrate, because imagine like you don't.
Yeah, listen. Chris Lee gets paid to judge fights. We could do this half asleep and do a better job.
Not shot, classic.
Well, I was gonna say that was a nice kick, but I don't think we're allowed to score that one.
I mean, it's nice. I mean,
yeah. Hey, hardest shot wins the round, right? That was probably the hardest shot.
It's a good fight so far. I was kind of afraid that, we weren't going to see good durability from JDS, but I mean, so far so good.
All right. Having barely paid attention to this round, I feel like from what little I've seen, it's mostly been Gon's leg kicks. So yeah. I'd lean him right now. What would you say?
Yeah, same thing. I think he's moving more. He's landing some shots. I mean, but it's not. He's not the tornado or anything. So, but yeah, I definitely
look at that. Axel on my screen just popped up 11 of 12, 92%. I think it's actually 12 of 13 where we are in the program. That's good, man. That is a great accuracy rate. Dos Santos is not at all checking those.
Because when Dos Santos at his best is when he's mobile. Like, you think back to the Ben Rothwell fight and how well he moved. So you take that away, it's a sit and duck.
Yeah, we'll see. And guys, let us know in the chat, what do you want from, like, we're going to do these with the UFC pay-per-views. Maybe it'll be something we do for every fight night. We're just going to start with the pay-per-views, see what the demand is like, see what the appetite is like. Let us know. I know there's other companion shows, watch-alongs. You got ones where the guys on camera are basically doing play-by-play in place of Joe Rogan. I don't know. Like, you got professionals there. I don't think you want that from us, but let us know. What are you looking for? Do you want a lax environment? Do you want to be, having a beer with the boys, watching the fights? I know we're all sort of spread out because of the ongoing global climate. So whatever we can do to make this fight night a little more community-esque, we'll get it done. Just let us know what you need.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. It's like, are you looking for, you're watching it with the boys, or do you have guys who think they're Joe Rogan? I mean, it's...
Oh, yo, Dos Santos, man.
Yeah, he's landing some shots. The round's starting to turn.
Here's the question. Were those the hardest shots landed?
No, I mean, the leg kicks, the body shots, for me, it's still gotten. But it shows that, I think the round took a small turn towards the end there.
It did. Okay, I think I'm going to give that 10-9 gone.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments section what you think. And you know what, guys? If this were... Yes, I'm going to shout out Caleb again because I owe him the world. Also, Caleb has the loveliest girlfriend. I'm just going to put that out there. We will be doing a McGregor versus Poirier stream for UFC 257. And we'll also be streaming that to Fightful Pro Wrestling. So you're going to be able to find that all over the place. Yeah, look out for that. And you know what, guys? If we like the beer with the boys feeling, I'll make it a mandate that you got to bring a beer to be on the show. Sean Rossap won't be able to join us anymore, but that might be exactly why I'm doing it.
I tell you what, Shaq, if you get too many beers into people, these journalists are gonna start professional, and by the end, it's gonna be a lot of talking shit.
Let me tell you, having been to a few live events, to a few events as media, and going out with some of the guys in MMA media, you get enough beers in these boys and girls, you learn some trade secrets. You see some texts and some screenshots that you really shouldn't. But
that definitely makes me want to cover it just to sit at the bar and like get the secrets from behind the scenes.
Bro, it's the things you learn is amazing that I wish I could share, but I can't. But maybe I'll tell you about some of it off the air.
It's like the only exciting thing I have is from the man fighting, later. So, but
yes, and we will get to that. We'll get to that in great detail. I'd love if you could share that story with people.
I feel like you did that on purpose. Like you picked the pay-per-view with Kevin Holland. You set me up. You brought me on your podcast. You did that on purpose. You want me to fight in front of the people.
I will. Let me say first and foremost, I cannot get an interview with Kevin Holland, and it's not. I don't even know what it is. It's not like I've been turned down. It's just like it's agreed to, and then for whatever reason, it never ends up happening. But if I ever do, I will ask him about you.
Oh, don't do that. He's gonna be like, who? And then I'm gonna put, because see, for me, it's like it's a big deal. For him, it's like, who is that?
All right, we got people agreeing with your 10-9 assessment there.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to disagree with, so gotta be confident.
Yes. Shout out to Colby. Guys, go check out Colby's great work over at Fightful MMA. He's churning out a ton of news content there. He's doing the live coverage for us. And Colby, we will definitely be having you on these watch-alongs, on nights where you're not forced to be typing ferociously from start to finish.
Hey, we just saw two checks from Dos Santos, so it looks like it's starting to.
I'm sure his corner gave him an earful.
Right, but does the fighter listen? I mean, are they in the zone? Are they ready to,
Well, they were saying in the on the preliminary card that Tecia Torres was like habitually bad about not taking corner advice, and she ran through her opponent tonight. But let's see if this is like an actual tilting point in her career when she gets an Angela Hill or another ranked strawweight.
Well, her issue is always going to be that lack of power. Like people were talking about that was her first TKO and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, man. That's always going to limit you if you have that lack of power, because it means you have to win the entire fight. You can't just Johnson it.
Dos Santos is hurt.
Yeah, he can barely walk.
Dos Santos is hurt. Yeah. And look, back against the clinch. I'm telling you, elbow to the back of the head, covering up. He's done.
It's over. Yep. It's over.
Wow.
Look, what did I just say? How did I predict this fight?
We talked about this, right? I said I'm going to throw a tantrum if Junior Dos Santos gets backed up. But in his defense, he was hurt. He was trying to get away. I don't think that was a tactical decision. Dude, he's still holding the side of his face. That's rough.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem though. It's like he's good, and then he starts to get hit too much, and then we see that every time, and it's disappointing, and it's always going to limit him. But I'm curious to see if he's going to get cut or not. All week, all the media asked him was, "Are you going to get cut? Are you going to get cut?" Like. It's like be a little sensitive. Like, the whole time it's like you're preparing for a fight. Brutal. People are like, "Are you gonna get cut?" It's like, come on, man.
That fucking sucks. I don't know what to say about that.
No, but see, shit like that pisses me off in the media when they cool off on or even Tony Ferguson. Like, is Tony Ferguson gonna get cut? It's like, listen, I mean, do you really want to put that narrative out there? Like, or what if the UFC didn't want to cut him? And they were like, oh, great idea, MMA.
Yeah. Cut him. Yeah, it was the sort of worst example in recent memory, and I think it had partly to do with the language barrier between the English speakers and some of the foreign media that attended UFC 254's virtual conferences. You had person after person asking about Habib's dad passing away. Yeah. Guys, here's the thing. If you're listening to this, I don't know, if you're for media and you're not working right now, which you should be, you're listening to this. If someone asked the question, it's a scrum setting. No one cares if the answer was to your question. That's not an exclusive. That's not a soundbite. Don't go out of your way to ask a question that someone else has already asked just so you can say they answered your question. It's pointless. It's repetitive for the fighters. It's ultimately meaningless.
I mean, even the same thing with asking him about, his father and stuff like that. It's like, how many times are you going to ask him? Like, what do you want him to say? Like, I don't know. He handled it better than I would. I would have gotten pissed off. Like, You know, like we would have gotten a rant about, stop asking me that shit. But
yeah, well,
he's a good guy.
Tony Ferguson was fun this week, though. I was digging his
I
was digging his media.
I feel like he went full in on the crazy. Like he doesn't care anymore. It's just like, shaved his head and everything. That's who he is at this point.
Yo, I mean, he was going through a rough patch there. If you guys don't remember Tony Ferguson, prior to, I think it was the Justin Gaethje fight, he was like his wife took out a restraining order against him, not for her own safety, but for his. He thought they planted a a tracking chip into his leg when they did surgery. He destroyed his fireplace. Like he was bugging out for a minute there, and that's no intent to shame Tony. It seems like he's taking the time to work on his health, and I'm glad that he's back, and we love him for being here. But there was a point in time there where a lot of people inside and outside the MMA community were really worried about where Tony's head was at.
Well, what's the next fight? Is this Mackenzie Dern next?
I will let you know right now. It is your best friend, Kevin Holland, taking on Jacare Souza. So, guys, listen to this. Lucas, can you tell me about why you and Kevin Holland are gonna, go for some sort of backyard brawl one of these days?
No.
Why are you gunning for Kevin's throat? Tell the world.
No. See, because I don't know how many people are watching it. No,
I eat this ramen.
You know how Kobe and Shaq, they had that little sit down. I think it was like 2 years ago where they kind of hashed everything out. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson had a sit down. Me and Kevin Holland are due for a sit down because I guess I got to tell the story from the top again. Like for the people of Fightful. As a journalist, you have to have a certain relationship with these fighters, and you interview them, you try to send a nice text message, so just to show them like, some goodwill. So I was texting Kevin Holland before his last fight against, I guess it was a regional scene guy, trying to set up an interview and everything. How'd you get my number? Blah, 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 from your manager, everything's nice and professional. It kind of fizzles out. I wasn't able to get an interview. So I was like, listen, after the fight, since he won it, I was like, let me just send him a congratulations text. He'll be like, appreciate it, my man. And then, use that as a little segue for setting up an interview. I send out a congratulations on the win, ! And, I put my phone down, go to sleep. I wake up the next morning and I don't save nobody's number. So I look at the area code. I was like, who's this texting me? Just to show you that, Kevin Holland, I'm not obsessed with him. I look at my phone, it's this text message, like, it's one thing to, get my phone number from my manager, but now you're texting me and you think we're buddies. Not trying to be rude, but don't be texting me like that. Don't be in my phone. Just kind of goes off on me on a text message. And, I spent the whole rest of the day, like, pondering my relationships with these fighters. It's like, am I bothering everyone? Does everyone want me to get the fuck out of their phone? So, yeah, Kevin Holland. But, like I said on Twitter, I remain professional. I'm not going to root against him or anything. I'm just sitting down watching this fight. Like, say he goes out there and he gets kadooshed or something. What does that bring me? It's like, oh, I felt bad for one nasty text message. He's going to feel bad from, getting knocked out. It's not the same. But, in case people were wondering, like, just like Shaq said on Twitter, which when he said it, I realized me and Luke Thomas are connected because Luke Thomas has John Jones. Lucas Grandsire has Kevin Holland. It's like we're connected. And, I'm turning into Luke Thomas slowly. You see, my name's Lucas. We got to shorten that. The beard's coming along, so.
Your YouTube channel in a good way. Your YouTube channel's profile picture gives me some old Luke Thomas vibes.
Well, no. So here's the thing. Here's the story about that because I wanted to create a logo kind of like Luke Thomas, the Schmo, all those people because I think it looks good. And I was tired of my head ass being the profile picture. So, I was like, let me go out and make a logo. And the person was like, I found a random person on Fiverr and he was like, kind of show me what you're looking for. So I sent the Schmo, I sent Luke Thomas. I was like, this is kind of what I'm trying to have, but obviously like with me. And he sends me the first draft and, I look kind of Cuban and everything, but he used the Luke Thomas one to create mine. So it looked pretty much like Luke Thomas.
Identical, yeah.
Lucas Grandsire Thomas. And I put it on Twitter just, kind of like, what are you guys thinking? Oh man, everybody just, you think you're Luke Thomas? That's promotional malpractice. Everyone's coming after me. And and it's like, listen, it's like if you get a bad haircut. I didn't fuck up my haircut. Somebody else did that. It's like, and I have to live with it. So I'm trying to explain to people. It's like, listen, I didn't create this logo. I'm not trying to be Luke Thomas. It's just, but got it fixed a little bit, I guess. I changed what I could. And the first draft he had me with a mustache. I look like this Cuban guy and stuff. So I was like, listen, I don't have a mustache. I can't have a mustache. So I was like, let's remove that. And it looks a little bit better, but if it's still giving Luke Thomas vibes, it's like, I'm going
to not in a, I don't think in an overt way. Maybe I saw the original drafts. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to be Luke Thomas and I'm coming for him. Nah.
Hey man, Luke is an awesome representative of the MMA media. So nothing wrong with aspiring to be like him.
No, but I'm a big fan of Luke Thomas. I know people don't always like his content because he's very confident. Like he'll give you his take, and if you disagree with him, he gives you this vibe like you're wrong and shut the fuck up. You know.
Well, I mean that's because people make bad arguments.
No, but that's what makes him a great debater too. Is like you feel like you could never shake his argument, even if you knew you were right. Luke Thomas, like he's not backing down from that. And I think that confidence is what pisses people off. But
yeah. Well, you got to know your limitations. Like I'm not prepared to get into an argument with Luke about much of anything.
No, I mean, what even can you argue with him about? Maybe PEDs, but even then, he went on Joe Rogan and made some really great arguments. So I was like, I can't even argue with you about that. So
exactly.
But
all right. I'm just looking ahead. Kevin Holland, Jacare Souza. What are your early predictions here?
Jacare Souza is going to come out with the fury of Lucas.
Post-fight interview, Lucas, this one's for you.
Right. It's like, Lucas, my guy. It's like, oh, my God. Nah, this one is going to be, if it stays on the feet, Kevin Holland's going to take it. You know, he's a fresher fighter. I'm sure he's going to move a lot better. It's going to be Kevin Holland. If it goes to the ground, then for me, it's all Jacare, similar to what we saw with Thiago Santos and Holland, even though it was a long time ago. But for me, the safe pick is Holland, just from better movement. You know, I assume he'd have the speed advantage as well, especially with him, you know, flirting with welterweight. So I'm going to reluctantly go with Kevin Holland as my safe pick.
This is what I will say. Obviously, Jacare is coming off of 2 straight losses to Jan Blachowicz and Jack Hermansson, has not been on a winning streak since beating Vitor Belfort and Tim Bosch in 2016, 2017. But this is the thing about Jacare. He's still very durable. Jan Blachowicz, the reigning UFC light heavyweight champ, took a split decision over him. Jack Hermansson, not so much anymore the Marvin Vettori fight, but top 5 middleweight contender as of now, took him to a decision. Kelvin Gastelum split decision. Last person that TKO him was Robert Whittaker back in 2018. So Jacare has slowed down a lot, but I think he's still got the durability. And if he can get Kevin Holland to the ground, which I'm not sure if he can or can't, but what I will say is, off recent memory, this is without a doubt, the biggest grappling threat that Kevin Holland has faced. I wouldn't sleep on Jacare. I'm actually not at all confident about who's going to win this one.
Shaq, have you seen this comment? Somebody said, and I think you appreciate it because you're Shaq. Somebody said, I just want the record to show that Lucas compared he and Kevin Holland to Kobe and Shaq. 100%.
Yes, sir.
Like think about it. It's the dream team. When you put them together, you have something so great, but you know that there's that tension that fuels it. Just imagine how great it would be if you know, Kevin and I had a podcast. It really would be the dream team. But you know, it's always going to be fueled by that. Well, I don't know what you call it, but it's fueled by something.
Speaking of weird dream teams, I don't know if you guys have checked out the Odd Couple MMA podcast with Lauren Sanko and Kevin Ioli of Yahoo Sports, but that is a pairing that I was not expecting.
Right? Yeah, I thought they were kind of doing like full disclosure, I didn't watch it. I just saw like a clip, and I thought, oh, interesting concept, but. Yeah, I thought it was kind of like an interview. I didn't realize they were actually going to be the Odd Couple and do the podcast. But
is that the case? I could be wrong. I just remember seeing.
No, I think something like that. But Odd Couple stuff, it works though. Look at everyone's favorite MMA media goofball, Brian Campbell with Luke Thomas. Like
exactly.
It works if you can get the right. You bring out the best in each other. It can be really interesting.
Yes, this is 1-2 punch has all been one big audition to find my full-time co-host. I'm just kidding.
So it hasn't been me. I failed.
Like, yeah, you, Aaron Bronstetter, James Lynch, Sean Al-Shadi, all these guys who clearly don't know as much about me or haven't been doing this as long. No, these I don't know. I do think that having rotating, like if you have 2 central hosts, that's one thing. But I think doing a show like mine where you got one guy and then you rotate guests is always going to have its limitations because you never really build that chemistry. But I like what the show is right now, and for me, it's fun to get to talk to you and Drake and James and Aaron and everyone else who's hopped on through.
Well, no, it's a fun thing too because it attracts a different audience too and stuff like that. Like, I mean, even my podcast, it's like it's a different person every week. Shout out to Lucas Grant's our podcast. Follow me, subscribe, all that stuff. No, but I love the rotating guests. Even for you as the host, like you get to talk to different people and even connect. So I don't know. I mean, I like the concept a lot, but I also think certain shows work best with the same two people. Others like yours is a great example of a show that works best. With someone different every time and brings a different opinion.
Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, here we go. Walkouts starting shortly. Jacare Souza, Kevin Holland. This is actually a really. Oh, we got a trailer first to sit through.
What's the official pick, Shaq? You have to give us an official pick so we can shit on you.
Let me. Okay. Wait. Let me see Kevin Holland's recent opponents. All right. Charlie Ontiveros, Darren Stewart, Joaquin Buckley, Anthony. Listen, when in doubt, I side with experience. Kevin Holland has had a terrific UFC run, but he has fought no one close to the skill set and experience of Jacare Souza. Despite his age, I'm going to lean with the alligator.
Yeah, but to give us a pick, Shaq.
I just said that's my pick. I'm going to go with Jacare.
How does he get the job?
Oh, how does he get the job done? Oh, I don't think if Jacare wins, it's not a decision. So I'm going to go submission. Okay. I'm going to go. I think once he gets him to the ground, Kevin's not getting up. So I'm going to go second round submission.
All right, I like it. Like it's a bold take from a bold man. I like it.
I will say Kevin Holland's got that fire. The same attitude he gave you is the same attitude he's giving UFC middleweight champ Israel Adesanya in this preview. And you see Izzy being like, "You're crazy." Listen, I'll give it to Kevin Holland. He's got an incredible amount of self-belief. But if you just look, and again, this is incredible winning streak, well on his way. One of the hottest guys in the promotion in 2020 to look out for. But if you look at the guys he's beaten, I don't know that he's quite earned his right to be chirping away at the middleweight champ.
No, but at the same time, like, that's how you get it done. You got to put on that character. You got to, make some noise. Like, even Hamza Shemaev, like, is that really the guy who should be fighting Leon? Like, that's how it works. That's how you do it. So he's, to give him some props, since I guess, the big thing is there's some beef going on. But, that's how you market yourself. So it's interesting. And I like the approach he's taking. I don't think he's going to fight Israel, but, I'm saying that's the way you get it done.
Dude, Izzy's a problem, man. I don't know who's going to be the guy to beat Izzy. I was I was on a podcast recently with sorry, 1 second. Just got to check something. Sorry. I was on a podcast recently with John Franklin. It hasn't come out yet, but we were sort of discussing high-level grappling versus high-level striking in MMA. And I said Khabib aside, for a long time, I think, from the invention of UFC with Royce Gracie up to Ronda Rousey's stint of dominance, George St. Pierre is another great example. Having high-level grappling was, I think, the most beneficial quality you could have as an MMA fighter. But with the exception of Khabib, I think striking is taking over. When you see guys like Israel Adesanya, to me, as a complete novice when it comes to fight analysis, it's not just his takedown defense that allows him to have such effective striking. It's his space management and his footwork. Like, it's not that Izzy is shucking off a ton of takedown defenses for the takedown shots for the most part. It's that people can't even get close. He's so accurate. He's so good at never letting people get into the space to even start wrestling. I think striking in MMA is a different level right now. And so if great grapplers are struggling to get in on Izzy, I don't see any other strikers in the division right now that could stand with him toe to toe.
And the thing you'll notice too is I feel like in MMA we see, especially in the UFC, we see less submissions. I feel like it's decision or knockouts, and I feel like that's a factor too. Like the ground game, but I mean Israel striking. I mean you can tell this is a guy that went to kickboxing, and even their approach was like, we're gonna send him to kickboxing so he can come back and do MMA, and I mean what an approach it was. So yeah, I mean and I guess me and Israel, I mean we're connected, right? I mean we both have Kevin Holland has something against us. I mean I'm being compared to Shaq and Kobe. Israel, but no, Israel's a great interview too. I had a great relationship with him until he got a management team that shut everything down. But
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. Once these guys start getting big, it's sayonara. But what can you do?
No, I mean it sucks because you talk to these guys, especially Israel. You talk to them after the interviews before, and then you see stuff where it's like, man, I feel like if I could talk to them, like we'd be able to do stuff like before, and then the team come in and they shut everything down. But it's working for him. He's a star, so I mean, he doesn't.
Oh yeah,
need to do
I will let you know, as someone who specifically got out of entertainment media for this reason, it's only going to get worse. Access is only going to get harder to come by. And eventually it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to set up anything with anyone via text message. So enjoy the luxury while it still exists.
No, and I do appreciate it. I think we do take it for granted. Like, as soon as I started with the podcast, I venture out to guests outside of MMA. You realize, like, we're so lucky to have this access. But, you appreciate the fighters, too. I mean, it's a give and take, but it's great that everyone's so accessible. But, yeah, I mean,
here's a great example. I DM with Gilbert Burns from time to time. Like, I wouldn't say we're friends, but if I were to shoot him a message, he'll generally reply. If I reply to his tweet, he'll usually answer. We have that sort of acquaintanceship going, but I'm not getting an interview with him. No way. I did one actually right before the Tyron Woodley fight, and then afterwards I was like, "Hey, Gilbert, can we do something?" He's like, "Got to run it through management. Sorry, dude." And that's where the train stops.
Well, the thing is, Gilbert, I've been interviewing him for a very long time. I used to send out a text, and it's like, he was like, "Oh, when do you want to do it, brother?" We were doing events.
He's so nice. He's so nice.
And then the management came in and they did this new thing where it's like, every single athlete, like prelim guy in LFA, prelim guy in some show in Russia, whatever it is, you have to go through them now. And, sometimes you get guys and sometimes you don't. It's frustrating because you think, like, I know for a fact people aren't breaking down doors, talk to this guy. And, and I'm here at the door trying to talk to this guy. So it's frustrating.
Colby's calling me out here. Yeah, I mean, let me say this about what access to MMA was like when I first started getting into it, which was January 2019. A bit sooner, I guess, because I've been doing a podcast with Kajan Johnson.
Wait, that's it?
For a year or two.
2019, that's it?
That, I think, no, okay, wait, no, let me think this through clearly.
So you are a child.
Oh my God, I can't even remember anymore. Okay, so I think I started with Fansided in September of 2018. And I think I started with Bloody Elbow in January of 2019. And so prior to that, I'd probably been doing my podcast with Kajan Johnson for a year, maybe. But even back then, shout out to Nick Baldwin, the third and final member of this MMA Kids Bop group we got going. But he was 16 at the time that I was texting him, 17 at the time. I don't even know. And I text him like, "Hey man, could you pass your contacts, your MMA contacts over to me?" And he does the file transfer. And granted, some of these numbers may have been outdated or they no longer answer because they got management. But I'm talking like 16-year-old Nick Baldwin had phone numbers for Max Holloway, Israel Adesanya, like you name it, he has their phone number. So whether or not they work anymore, you can access them is one thing, but that's what MMA used to be like a few years ago. You could straight up just get anyone's phone number and set something up.
Yeah, I have in my notes just like MMA contacts, like all of these phone numbers, and Israel's a part of it. Just a little flex, like people mentioned in the group chat. But yeah, and not today. I feel like it's different. A lot of guys you can get more on Instagram or managers. I did notice a change, or more fighters like not doing interviews because they want to focus on their fight, and it's kind of like those interviews are very important because that people watch pre-fight more than they do post-fight. I feel like managements they want the post-fight stuff when in reality it's like, man, the pre-fight stuff is what's going to get you hype in the clicks. Yeah,
that's why I'm just moving away from doing the pre-fight interviews, which is another shameless plug, guys. Go check out Fightful MMA, youtube.com/Fightful MMA. We got one championship fighters reacting to the top 20 KOs in the sport dropping soon. Oh, Sean Ross Sapp is back just in time. Sean, I will add you in a second. Let me get the overlay set up.
Nah, he's going to bust in here. I mean,
busted in here.
There we go. God, your voice is so nice.
What?
It's just a good radio voice. Whoa, Kevin Holland has Jacare.
Nah, no
in
way.
A triangle situation, busted him up with elbows, then switched over to an omoplata almost. This is not what I expected this to look like.
There's no way.
That's a bad idea. You should not be trying to throw a triangle up on Jacare Souza.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this Jacare Souza.
No. This guy is still a beast of a grappler. You can't take that away with age.
It's like, what is it? You swim with the alligator, you get the teeth.
That's definitely not a saying.
It's not. I guess it is now, though.
Hey, not to plug a sponsor that we don't have, but Lucas, can you show this energy drink to Sean that I think would be a perfect fit over at Fightful Pro Wrestling?
Bang.
Energy.
I'm more of a. I don't have it in here. I'm a Monster Energy rehab guy, but we do have some. I have some Bang in the fridge, though. Legitimately,
I feel like. In the bed?
We've got a bed sponsor, a pube sponsor, and an erection pill sponsor. So, I mean...
And so they give you samples?
I will say, Kevin Holland is doing a great job of using these knee shields. Oh, he knocked him out from his knees! What?
Boy, I was not expecting that.
Whoa! Sean, I know you say if I have to ask, the answer is yes. I need to make a separate highlights article for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. We were training a guy for weekend spot on the wrestling side, and he's like, "Oh, does this go in fight size or is it an actual article?" I was like, "We have to ask. It is always an article."
Whoa, that was insane.
God.
Trouble sitting down. Holy shit.
That was unreal.
I didn't even know you could do that.
That's Nico Price territory when he hit those hammer fists.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Well, it's okay if he texts me.
Look at this. Oh, yo, he wasn't even standing.
No.
Yep. Ugh.
What do I call that? Okay.
I'm trying to write that up, Shaq.
Jeez, dude. Like, here's the thing. I was like, you know what? I'll be here. It'll be an incredible knockout. And then I'm going to hit the bricks. But I feel like I would seem like a troll at this point if I just hit the bricks.
You really would. You really, really would.
I'm watching Kenny Omega beat up a guy on another screen.
What we should really be watching next is Joey Diaz's Twitter, as he says absurdly disgusting things about Mackenzie Dern.
So no.
Calling for that? Like, is that?
I don't know. Sean, SEO question while we're peeling back the curtain a little bit here. Should I lead these with UFC 256 or should I lead with the name of the fighter? Because I've been doing UFC 256 this whole time.
Well, I mean, for the regular title, I would probably lead with the name of the fighter, but for the SEO title at the bottom, I would probably go with UFC 256.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, because that's what pops up whenever somebody searches it on Google. Yeah. We have a differentiator there because we do so well on social media that we wanted to split that up a little bit.
Gotcha. What do we call that? KO's Jacare with punch from his back? I guess. That was awesome.
I'm liking a lot of the reactions. Like I've got a friend from high school who sent me a tweet and he says, "Help me understand. We're having a drunken conversation. How bad would a UFC flyweight beat an average Joe in a bar fight?" Oh, I have a hard time.
You know what you should do? Send them the video of Roger Huerta knocking out that 250 plus pound football player outside of a bar.
Yeah, and he said, I have a hard time believing that a guy the size or smaller than my wife or daughter would destroy a guy 6'10", 210, or 6'2", 210. We had a guy who was a 135-pound amateur boxer, and he was a pretty good boxer. But he was 135, and he just cooked everybody in town in bar fights, like with regularity. Wasn't even close. But it was kind of funny because his dad was a pro boxer, and he didn't want to get into MMA because his boxing friends said MMA was gay, quote unquote. And so he was embarrassed. So we bring him in to train, and of course, we box him, and he beats the living shit out of all of us, just cooks all of us, not even close. We're like, all right, we'll bring him over to the mats. We'll see how it works. We're like, hey man, we're gonna do some kickboxing with you. He's a little bit different. He's this little wiry white guy with red cornrows, and he goes, okay, we can do that. And he starts throwing these crisp kicks, and I'm like, what? I'm like, how do you know this? How do you know to turn your hips? How do you know to pivot? How do you know all this? He's like, I did Taekwondo for 6 years. And I was like, okay, my God. Well, then we're like, all right, you know what? We'll bring him into grappling class. And he starts stuffing takedowns. And he's got these quick single legs and like waist locks. And I'm like, how do you know how to do this? And he was like, oh, man, I wrestled in high school for 4 years. And I was like, what? Why aren't you doing MMA? You do like literally every element of MMA. Like I was half expecting him to pull off like a flying triangle and be like, Helio Gracie is my grandpa. I trained since I was a baby. So, yeah, I mean, you also never know what a smaller fighter is capable of. But, I mean, my God. I mean, we used to schedule smokers in our gym with the least experienced people on our team against like varsity athletes and collegiate athletes, and the result was always the same.
Well, this is what I always say is like, you know, I understand everyone thinks they could fight, but
yes.
Are you gonna ask a doctor if you can diagnose better than them? Are you gonna ask a lawyer if you can win a case better than them?
Well,
same thing goes for fighting, man. No, look,
I mean, yeah, you are gonna see that because look at Facebook right now. You got a whole lot of people thinking that they can diagnose stuff, and I mean, yes, of course. Look at the landscape. There's all kinds of people.
Yeah, I guess for some reason I expect.
Oh man,
a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I try and stay off Facebook.
Power bombs right here. They did a pretty cool spot on this AAA pay-per-view where they had like a Marvel tie-in, and Leo Rush played Spider-Man, and Cage played Thanos. And I'm not even big into Marvel stuff. I was just like, that's cool.
Sean, may I recommend you start doing exclusively fight stories on Fightful Select?
People like them, but I was gonna save that one for a post SmackDown show. But the funny thing about that guy, so I saw his pictures on the internet years before, and I was like, what a joke. This guy looks ridiculous. He had like grills and rare breed tattooed on his arms. And I was like, what a dork. Well, I came back down from a kickboxing camp, and we all stopped and watched amateur boxing fights. And he was there, and he beat the shit out of a guy. And I was like, man, I am super glad that I never said anything like that to his face, because he would have cooked me. It was unreal. He was so good.
I remember clear as day. I was at it was a really weird situation. I was at a house party, and my ex-girlfriend was dating this short but thick dude. He was jacked from head to toe, and he had a judo background.
Yeah.
And so I'm like inexcusably drunk, talking to a couple people outside in the backyard. And I see this stocky little train of a man dart up a hill. And in my drunk stupor, I turn around and I'm like, what is happening? And I see my friend who's visiting from England, small, scrawny guy, at the top of this hill, arguing with the guy's with the guy's girlfriend, excuse me, my ex. And I'm like, oh no. So I instinctively dart after them, and I get up there, and I see this hulk of a man on top of my friend, has his collar, fist in the air, and I instinctively put him in a rear naked choke.
Oh, Shaq.
And I say, please calm down. And he starts tapping. He's like, Shaq, I can't breathe. I'm like, well, are you going to stop? And he's like, yeah. So I let him go. Sam and I were like really cool, even though I barely knew him. And I sit him down on a stool, and I put his arms on me like I'm his coach. And he says, no, and he is crying.
He started vaselining his face.
He is bawling his eyes out. Nobody disrespects my girlfriend. Nobody talks to my girlfriend like that. And I'm like, it's okay, man. I understand. It's okay. I need you to breathe. Give me 1, 2, out. 1, 2, out. I go to my friend afterwards. I'm like, hey, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you need me to fight this guy? And he goes, no. And I go, oh, thank God, he would have kicked my ass.
Oh my God.
I got my lucky sneak in from behind rear naked choke, but that fool would have murked me.
There was, I gotta save some of my fight stories for Friday nights, because that's how I conjure up the super chats. We'll definitely tell one on the McGregor watch along for sure.
Cool.
I'll tell one on there. That'll be a big ticket night for us. So
yeah.
You know what? I have a question for you guys. Since Mackenzie Dern is about to fight, and I like to stir up some shit. Is she faking an accent? I feel like everybody has an opinion.
No, I don't think so. I know a lot of people, when they move somewhere else, they adopt that accent and they always tell me, I'm like, oh, you've got an Australian accent. They say, well, when I go home to Australia, my family tell me I have a Canadian accent. So I completely believe that she's got some sort of weird mishmash going on.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. That's how I feel too. I mean,
MMA fans are dumb. Not all of them. Not the ones in the chat.
They are. They are, man. They are.
Is it just that like people in MMA are like, oh, MMA fans are the worst? I've just come to believe that every fandom sucks.
Fans.
It's way worse than MMA. It's way worse than MMA. It really, really is. I mean, there's a whole lot of homophobia and misogyny and, quite frankly, racism. There's a whole lot more of it in MMA.
Speaking of getting beat up, KO Kid Keith Berry threatened to beat the shit out of me when he sees me in person. Not that I'm ever going to see KO Kid Keith Berry. But if you want that story, guys, leave a super chat donation.
Yeah. KO Kid Keith Berry. I'm Googling him as we speak. KO Kid Keith Berry.
He's a bit of an old school guy.
Hey, he's 33.
Yeah. Well, at this stage in his career, he's usually the one getting KO'd. But I guess the name applies either way.
Look at Shaq talking shit about a guy who wants to fight him.
Listen. Keith Berry would kill me. Everyone who trains MMA would kill me.
Hey, he's won his last 2 MMA fights. He did get knocked out in a boxing fight, but he won a couple MMA fights last year via TKO.
Listen, I went to Toshido MMA down in Kelowna because I was doing a documentary in post-secondary on Sarah Morris. I boxed with Sarah Morris for 2 minutes and she beat the crap out of me. I grappled, and I have a jiu-jitsu background. I grappled with a former UFC fighter, Shane Young. He guillotined me so hard that my nose exploded in a gusher of blood. It was like a geyser.
Well before she was in the UFC, I had like a terrible car accident, but I had already planned this training day. Like me and a couple of my teammates went to with what is now a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Kentucky, and Jessamine Duke was there at the time. I've trained with a few UFC fighters and a few Bellator fighters. I have never met a cardio machine like her. Like I got tired just like as we were facing off to grapple. Like it was unreal. And the whole gym was like that because they all had to try to keep up with her. And she was on the ascent. She was like one of the top 145 prospects in the world before she dropped. And it was so humbling. One of the guys that was with me, he's like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight in 2 weeks. Like that's how bad they wore him out. But he ended up winning. There are levels to it. There are levels to it, for sure.
Hey,
I just don't think KO Kid Keith Berry's there. I think you knock him out inside one.
Can anyone find out if some of these highlights are a bit? Can you guys check ESPN MMA on Twitter and see if they have the highlights for this? Because it's unavailable in my country if they do.
Need to turn on that VPN, my dude.
Yeah, we have something across the network specifically for like piracy and streaming, but I do not have an independent VPN. It's like our network is secure. I don't have to worry about stuff like that. But.
No particular highlights that I see. Just the typical, hey, here's Jacare lying limp.
I hate when they do that.
It's smart, though. It's very smart.
So do you want this highlights video?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna send you that clip because that clip's good enough for now. Here you go.
Is it in the chat on?
There's the embed code. Enjoy yourself.
You heading out?
I got a Roman Reigns article to catch up on.
All
I got to
right.
finish writing it.
I'll see you by Tony Ferguson.
Who's up next?
Mackenzie Dern.
I might pop in for that. You never know. You never know when I might just pop in.
Yeah, and I think Joey Diaz is about to pop up and pop out because he is a gross old man.
Can't hate the Diaz. He gave us some.
No. I love Diaz. I mean, no disrespect to Joey Diaz, but he says some gnarly things about Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, it changes your opinion on the fighter a little bit when he says too much of that stuff. So.
It's just. I don't even know. I can't even see what this is that Sean sent me. I just have the link, or I just have the embed code. All right. So I'm 1-for-1 on this main card so far. You're 2-0, I think. Which way are you leaning here? Is Verna Yandaroba the chick who also got a submission win recently?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's good. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how Mackenzie Dern. It sounds like she wants to go out there and she wants to go out there and bang. So I'm curious to see if that power is going to be the big thing that's going to change the fight, or if they're going to go at it on the ground. And I'm hoping they do, because I like to see high level jiu-jitsu in these fights. So honestly, I think I'm going to lean towards Mackenzie Dern, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her lose this one. But I mean, this one's close. Like if I was betting, there's no way I'm betting on this one.
All right, I'm going to answer a couple of questions on Periscope because they can't do the same things that the YouTube folk can. Dave Bedford says, MMA question: do you think we'll ever see Khabib versus GSP, since Khabib claims he's beaten everyone? I was saying it during the show, Lucas. If he does come back for one fight, I imagine that's what they're going to do. If not, Tony Ferguson wins tonight. There's basically no one else for Khabib to fight.
I mean, it sounds like they want this fight, but I don't know, man. The man wants to be retired,
I'm not asking him alone,
but it's possible. I think there's not a whole lot of options. Like if you were to name 3 options that were realistic, you'd be like, what? T Ferg if he wins it, GPS, and then I get third person. Name a third person, but
GSP.
GPS is the second person, so you don't have to.
I got you.
No, it's not unrealistic, but it's like you got so much stuff you have to bring together that they're gonna be 54 when we see him, and then it's like we get the Tyson Jones, but in MMA. So
yeah, let's go to K Fellas real quick on Periscope. He says, "I took Oliveira decision. Give your thoughts." Give my thoughts on what? I have a lot of thoughts. I've been told I need to be more opinionated on Twitter because it'll translate into followers. I think Charles Oliveira, if you were to assign points to all of their different skills, Tony Ferguson's a way better wrestler. But I think if we're just separating to grappling, if you're to assign them 100 points out of grappling, 100 points out of striking, I think Oliveira's got more total points. But I think I'm going to side with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Even going to a decision, I feel like that's kind of a bold pick. Like this seems like the kind of fight between 2 guys that would get the job done. But yeah, I don't know. Oliveira by decision. I assume if you're betting on that one, the odds have to be really good. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Tony Ferguson has more, but everybody's kind of questioning it since he's coming off a weird fight with Gaethje. But I don't know, man. I'm curious about this one. But Oliveira by decision, it doesn't sound realistic, but obviously here on the live stream, if I'm wrong, you guys get to see my shame in front of everyone.
We're getting messages here about the Mackenzie Dern's last fight against Randa Marcos, that quick submission. Let me say, I learned nothing about Mackenzie Dern in that fight, and I wouldn't put a lot into it because Randa Marcos, no disrespect to Randa, been at this for a long time, but she made a sloppy error. She immediately dived into the ground with Mackenzie Dern dry and early, and it was obvious that Mackenzie Dern was going to get a submission if the game went there. So Marcos basically handed that fight to Mackenzie, and I'm interested in seeing what someone who executes a well thought out game plan brings out of her.
Yeah, that was the fight IQ of a zebra. Like, what are you doing? I mean, it just sometimes you see these moments, and I know you're fighting and you're in the zone, and sometimes things you're dependent on reflexes, but it's like, I mean, seriously, like is that what I don't know. I was watching it. I thought it's silly. Maybe I guess Marcos thought she might surprise. I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking, but yeah, I was watching it. It didn't make any sense, and yeah, fight IQ of a zebra on that one for sure.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
out here grinding on the live stream, like you people that donate to the super chat, appreciate this, man.
100%, guys. Thank you for that. Do we have your official pick for this one?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it would be a decision, but at the same time, it could definitely be a decision. I'm gonna pick Mackenzie Dern. Not a whole lot of confidence, and I would say maybe I don't know, Mackenzie Dern by decision. I feel like that would be the safest pick, and then of course we're gonna get she loses by submission or something. But I don't know. I feel like Dern by decision. I feel like it makes sense to me.
I will side with Dern only because I am woefully undereducated about. Well, I just heard John Anik pronounce his name, and it completely out of thing. Verna.
You gotta be slick about it. That's why I said Dern's opponent. I'm picking against.
Well, here's the thing. I was gonna give it my best shot, and then John Anik like whispered it into my ear. I'm like, oh, yeah, that never mind.
Oh, fam.
Wow.
Speaking of which, your guy Dorino Gilbert Burns put out on Twitter how to pronounce her name. So I mean,
perfect. Well, the thing I always get wrong is the J's are not silent in Portuguese. That's something from like Spanish that I always mix up. But the R's are silent. So
yeah, it's weird. It's like the Jose Aldo, or do you want to make Connor and just be like Jose Aldo? Which what was that 5 years ago today? So there you go.
Okay, I've got two questions here. First, here's Colby giving us some pronunciation tips. Vina Jandiroba. Second of all, can you make out what is that? His hand tattooed, and then his leg on the right.
You're looking at the profile picture.
Yeah,
this is clearly a guy with his hand over the crotch, like with the Vans on, trying to take a pose. Like which one I'm talking about. Like I got high school guys that take that picture like that.
Yo. Verna. Now I'm listening to Cormier try to pronounce her name. That's a sick afro. Is it too late to change my pick? I don't really want to vote against a fro that. Oh, yo, Dern. Dern is landing a ton of hard shots. Like,
oof, my ESPN Plus is way behind.
Yeah.
I've got the referee coming out and everything. Hold on.
Yeah, just give it a refresh. Right, that'll speed you.
Let's go ahead and fix it.
In fact, I will try and refresh, see if that. No, I was in a good spot. Well, let me say, Mackenzie, she's looking confident and smooth with her strikes. They're still kind of wild, but they're coming without hesitation.
Are you at about 4:14 of the fight?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Colby says that's my hand and leg. Yes, but Jandiroba, yeah,
shoulders on her. Holy crap!
And she caught Mackenzie with a tough shot, and it immediately slowed down Mackenzie's output.
Well, because Mackenzie thinks she's the only girl that's got some pop at her punches on the feet. So, I mean.
Yeah.
So, did you change your pick? Is it official? I feel like it's too late.
No. I'll go with Dern. The fight started. I'm not like that. Oof. As long as I don't have money down on it, I'm prepared to be wrong.
I definitely don't feel as confident as I'm watching this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Jandiroba. Notice how confidently I said it, even though it might be completely wrong. I mean, she's a good fighter, so it's not like it'd be shocking upset if she wins it. I feel like it's just because people know who Mackenzie Dern is more. I mean, Mackenzie Dern, I think what surprised me the most is, she came back from her pregnancy and she seemed to be in even better shape than before. That was always the thing, right? People were saying, she wasn't taking her weight seriously, but I mean, physically, she looks good. I don't mean like Joey Diaz, but
I mean,
because Because you know how people are like, she looks good, then you get clipped in, and it's like, journalists thirsting after fighters type.
Yes.
Just analyzing it. She's landing some good shots, though. I mean, it's interesting to see. I feel like the first round is kind of neck and neck right now.
Yeah, I am finishing this article, so you are definitely the expert right now.
I got you, Jack. I got you.
Thank you, man. Well, hey, that's why I needed someone here with me. I can't do this by myself. I can talk a lot, but I can't do this by myself.
See, I thought it was because Lucas would make a great guest, but instead it's not. I needed a replacement to.
It's because Lucas is essential to my success.
There it is. You're welcome. Mackenzie Dern, it must be so great when you're able to strike like that and not worry about getting taken down. Speaking of which, I want to see this jiu-jitsu from these two ladies because I feel like they would cancel each other out. Like we could see some high level stuff.
I'm sure someone has a video of this Holland KO and it's going to be taken down. But while it's not taken down, I'm going to...
Well, go on Reddit. I mean,
you know what? Actually, Barstool Sportsbook has it, and they're a verified account. So
there you go.
It looks like they filmed it off their TV, but they're a verified account. So let's give it a try.
Robbie Barstool screaming at the TV, took a picture of it with his phone.
I will say I do love Robbie Barstool. He's got a lightsaber going up his forearm, a tattoo, and he got a photo of Mark Hamill holding the lightsaber. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not like a Star Wars guy or anything, but yeah, that would be something. It's pretty cool.
I was playing for real gamers out there. I was playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic this morning. Hey, quick shout out, man. Ron Patel is truly the best in the biz, leaving a kind and generous super chat donation. Thank you so much, Ron. We have a rule of thumb. I feel like people over at Fightful Pro Wrestling take Ron for granted sometimes. When Ron donates and he doesn't leave a comment, we say something nice about him. So Lucas, I'm gonna let you think about it, stew on what you're gonna say, and in the meantime, I'm gonna say that Ron Patel has the voice of an angel, the sort of soothing, sultry tones that can rile up an army going into battle or soothe a baby to sleep. Let him whisper in your ear. He'll only say sweet things. Ron Patel's the best.
So do I get half of like all the super chats? I mean, I don't think we worked that out in my contract.
I don't think I get half the super chats.
I say that you got me out here, talking about people I've never heard of before and how great they are. I don't even get to touch the money from there.
No, this is hell. Yeah, it only in MMA media are you gonna spend 5 hours working under my under Fightful's banner and not get money for it. That's nothing against Fightful. That's just the situation, buddy. You don't get in this for the money. I could be doing a whole lot of things for more cash than covering MMA.
Listen to Shaq out here trying to use his negotiation skills to. All right, so listen, I got this one 10-9 Dern. I thought she looked good, and that's my official. I don't know if the Twitter world agrees, but
remember, guys, Lucas said that Mackenzie Dern looks good. Freudian slip.
No, I mean, oh man, especially with her. Like, if I said that about her opponent, like she looked good, people would be like, "Yeah, physically she looks great. She got her knee pads."
Yeah, that says more about the creeps on Twitter than it does about you.
Say that about Dern, and it's like, "Oh, are you gonna send her a congratulations message and get her DMs?"
Hey, Lucas, say something nice about Ron.
Ron has a very strong and powerful name. Makes me think of the legend Ron Swanson. Ron's have a reputation to uphold and good.
It's actually technically his name, at least on Twitter, is Ronak. I think that's how I would pronounce it. But I don't think he goes by Roan. So, or else he'd have the Rona.
Oh dear Jesus, Shaq! Don't do that.
Yes.
All right, round two.
Yeah, you're gonna. I think you're being lumped in with Joey Diaz over here, my man. It's too late for you.
What are the comments looking like?
I'm sure Uncle Joey agrees with that take.
Oh dear Jesus! Come on, guys! Like, maybe I'll start having a French accent or something, and then we'll see if we can't turn it up a little bit.
So, what are your thoughts on Kevin Holland landing one of the year's best KOs? That could have been you, dude. You're not careful. That could have been you.
Nah, bro, I got an iron chin. I would just ate that, and then he, the home. What is it? The Homer Simpson or whatever. They get tired punching him. That would have been me, man. I would just ate that. I'll be like, that's all you got.
Love it.
Nah, if you really wanted to fight me over congratulations on the win, like, wouldn't that make you like the number one douchebag like in MMA in the world?
Yeah, I think. I mean, there is a popular, very populated race for douchebag of the year in MMA. Wow, that's a good idea for an article. I don't know who wants to ruin their relationships on that one, but someone should rank the top 10 douchebags of the year in MMA. Dude, not gonna be me.
Nah.
People always like, oh, if you're not shitting on fighters all the time, you are complicit. You're seeking favor, and yes, I am. And it's not because I wouldn't say something bad about someone or speak up. I'm doing react videos. I am not in this sport right now to have some sort of
journalistic integrity.
I'm not I don't consider the work I do journalism. Not even close. I'm about as close to PR without being a publicist. Like, I am just doing fun videos with fighters that hopefully boost their profile and boost our website. So I don't. Now, the good folks over at Bloody Elbow, man, they do some good work. If you guys didn't see their stuff on One Championship, I hit up One Championship to get a quote on their on Bloody Elbow's report, and I was told no comment, and also please don't ask again. And I'm not going to ask again, not because I'm afraid of one, because I'm not going to be doing any follow-ups to that story.
Well, you can't, when they say, no comment, don't ask again, what can you possibly ask for that? Like, the no comment is going to stick no matter how much you pursue it. So
exactly. But shout out to Bloody Elbow, man. They get such a bad rap. They are the only ones in this sport on the regular, fighting the good fight, doing good journalistic work, bringing more of the sort of like seedy scum of MMA to light. So please support the stuff they do over at Bloody Elbow.
All right, listen, there's an eye poke, and somewhere there's someone making a joke about eye poke, lazy eyes, and stuff like that, and it will not be me. Let me just put that out there. I'm just watching the fight and minding my own business. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, man. This fight's pretty good so far. Like, you never know if it's going to be, exciting or not. But, I mean, I think that's what happens. You have two people that aren't scared to go to the ground if it happens, and we have this entertaining stand-up fight. So
yes, I know. I've completely not given any play-by-play of the fight. We'll get to it now. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I hope people aren't listening to get the results, because you're not going to.
You're not going to get that. I hate to say this. So we're looking at John DeRoba here. Is that is her eyes swelling up, or does she just have different sized eyes? Because I haven't looked too closely before.
On a slippery slope here, Shaq.
I'm just not familiar with her facial structure. Some people have more symmetry than others.
No, she doesn't. Let's just be honest. Look, she has a lazy eye, okay? And I think one eye is.
Does she have a lazy eye?
Yeah, she does. And one of them is, I think, much bigger than the other. So there is a difference.
Okay, cool. So this is not necessarily a consequence of the eye poke. She does have an eye, that's just genetically how she looks. Cool.
Yeah, no, she has something going on there, but that's why
variety is the spice of life.
Okay, Shaq.
You get bored. You get bored staring into identical looking eyes.
Dear Jesus, Shaq.
I'm not trying to be mean. No, she's a beautiful woman, and I love her afro. The afro is absolutely sick. Mackenzie Dern's got a cut on the bridge of her nose. I'm just gonna pretend like I haven't been talking out my ass this whole time.
Yeah.
So that cut came kind of suddenly. I want to take a guess and say it was a headbutt.
I don't know. It probably landed an elbow or something in the clinch.
Daniel Cormier is now suggesting that she has a broken nose.
I mean, it's possible, but that's nasty. That is nasty.
We are currently watching Dern versus Jandiroba. Dang it, Jandiroba. About a minute left in round 2 where we're at. Again, there is a delay between us and the live stream, so that is no qualifier for where you guys are at.
Well, that cut is nasty. She's gonna have some trouble going into round 3. I mean, it may have just changed the whole fight right here.
Well, the troubling thing is she's touched it quite a few times, and it's not even the sort of annoying little pat you see fighters give. Like, she's been playing with it, fiddling, squeezing. So I don't know what's up there.
That means it's probably mentally taking her out of the fight too. She's probably thinking way too much about that. So, I don't know. She's got to figure something out because otherwise she's going to have a lot of issues if she can get to round 3, considering, they could potentially stop this fight.
Oh, Mackenzie shooting for the leg.
I like it. This is what I want to see. I want to see the high level, grappling, jiu-jitsu.
So let's say I guess we'll find out the break what landed, but who would you say has landed the harder shots thus far in this round?
I mean, I feel like it was Mackenzie Dern. I feel like she was controlling, she was winning it. And then you saw the tide kind of flip with that broken nose. So I don't know, man.
I'd like to get clarification on what caused the nose.
Yeah. We're going to see the replay. I mean, that nose is disgusting. It is, the bridge is leaning one way, the nostrils the other.
I'm gonna take a weird guess and no, I'm not gonna. No more Joey Diaz comments.
Are you looking at her nose right now?
Yes.
Oh man, that thing is.
That's bad, dude. I want to see the replay though. I'd like to know what it is, and that it is interesting, right? Because if the judges are looking at that, and they think it's a strike, well, then without a doubt, you got to say that John DeRoba took the round because you're supposed to score primarily with regards to. Oh, let's see. Oh, it was a knee to the. She threw a kick. The knee hit the nose. So that's 100% John DeRoba's round as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree with that. She finished strong, so yeah, I'd say 19-19 going into the third, and I don't know how Mackenzie Dern can come back from that. I think it's very distracting too.
Let me give a quick lesson on the scoring criteria for my very limited understanding, because there's a lot of confusion about this, and Sean Sheehan over at Severe MMA has a great video breaking it down. But when they say the fight is judged based on effective striking, grappling, something, and octagon control in that order, right? What that means is, because a lot of times you see, oh, that guy got the takedown, he threw a few submissions. The way the scoring criteria is set, if you can discern who landed the harder punch, who landed more damage, even by a differential of 1 strike, you're not even supposed to factor in the submissions, or the takedowns, the grappling, any of that. So let's say you were to make the argument in round 2 that Dern landed, or in round 1 that Dern landed 1 harder punch than John DeRoba, but John DeRoba had 3 minutes of takedown control. You're still supposed to score that fight for Dern. It's based first and foremost on who did more damage. So
gotta finish stronger than that, Shaq. So you should be like, there you go. Now you know.
I was wondering what the dead silence was. You're waiting for some sort of witty remark. I gotta get my game up. Sean Ross Sapp's already got me hella animated, but we'll get there. John DeRoba with another head kick. Steve-O, dude. Steve-O's on Media Row now. He's tweeting. Yeah. Steve-O is everywhere.
So meanwhile, I don't cover events. I can't even text Kevin Holland, but freaking Jackass is out here.
Hey man, have you ever had your tweet on the screen? Let me ask you that.
No, but also haven't tried very hard either. I've tried a few times, and then it was like, man,
I've had one time. One time it was when, who was it? Some chick ended like a crazy elbow. It might have been Mallory Martin. And I got a screenshot of it going like halfway down. But that's the one time. I don't know who it is though, because like, Dern stumbles John DeRoba.
Why did she give it?
I don't know why she's going for a takedown.
I feel like she
had it.
Yeah, she was about to finish that fight.
Dude, John DeRoba's got a toe. This is gonna sound terrible. Like tone pecs. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to not make this sound terrible, but like you can just see like the line up to her throat, basically. Like she's a strong, athletic girl.
Yeah, she's big in it. Yeah.
That was terrible, dude. Dern had her hurt, went for a takedown, botched it, and now has John DeRoba on top. But based on the way the fight's supposed to be scored, even if John DeRoba rides this out, if she doesn't do a lot of significant damage, it's supposed to be Dern's round.
Yep, I mean, I agree with that. She landed some good damage, and
Oh, look at these up kicks, dude. Jiu-jitsu players have underrated up kicks. It is something they. In traditional jiu-jitsu systems, you do practice a lot for space management against a combative opponent who's trying to strike.
I don't want to hear nobody say Mackenzie Dern isn't entertaining. She looks like a
throwing, dude.
Yes.
This is the sort of like messy, underdeveloped striking I like to see in UFC.
Oh, yeah. This is awesome. I mean, I did not expect this. This is a really great fight. And I feel like all the women's MMA, like people.
That was a cool step in elbow. 12-6 elbow.
Bro, this last minute
vertical
is about to be insane. I don't know, man. 29-28 Dern for me. If she can
right now, it's 29-28 Dern, 100%.
But I mean, the fact that she was able to overcome that nose and potentially win round 3,
it's starting to bleed again.
That says a lot about her as a fighter. I mean, and even just the mental toughness. I know people were questioning, it's the surfing and all that crap, but I don't know. I'm impressed.
Well, let me tell you, Sean Ross Sapp was telling us earlier that his friends were having a drunk debate about whether or not a flyweight UFC fighter could beat them up. I am telling you, if you punch some random dude at a bar and their nose looked like Dern's, they'd be on the floor crying.
Yeah, 100%.
But here is Dern coming back and not only winning the round, having her strongest round as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, and she looks, oh man, I can't say enough good things. I mean, I was not expecting such a great fight.
Yeah, I thought we were heading back into Joey Diaz territory there.
No. You're trying to get me to talk shit about Kevin Holland.
Let me show you a tweet reel. Let me share a tweet real quick. So it was in regards to Bellamere, Frank Mir's, I think 17-year-old daughter. Yes. Okay, fights over. 3, 2, 1. Dern took that, dude. I'd say 29-28 Dern.
Am I 3-0 on picks?
You might be 3-0 on picks. And he actually, beyond that, Colby, a writer over at Fightful MMA, had it. Let me show you. One second. Let me find these pics of his. Okay, look at this. He said these were his picks apparently. And then he's throwing some major shade at you.
It's like, but who's on the live stream? Is it me or is it you? It's
me.
Hey,
he works here, man. He might be here next week. Who knows?
You work here, and yet I'm here.
Lucas getting testy. I like it. I want to hear the Kevin Holland trash talk next. If I can schedule like a Dr. Phil session with you and Kevin Holland on camera, will you take part?
Oh, 100%. Like, listen, I'm game. Like, I always believe in if you're willing to say something about someone, you should be able to say, face to face or camera to camera or whatever. So Kevin Holland was down. If he knows who I am, then 100%. Like,
yeah, that's my favorite part about this beef. Like, we know certainly that John Jones knows who Luke Thomas is. I can't promise that Kevin Holland knows who Lucas Grandsire is. He definitely doesn't know who I am.
Well, because I've never interviewed him or anything, so it would kind of be like, who? And then you try to explain, then he'd be like, oh, okay. Then it would just look bad. All right, I see that hand raised. Boom.
Mackenzie Dern, 29-28.
Hey, Lucas said it. I mean, decision, Mackenzie Dern. Yes, sir.
I like it. So we got 2 fights left. Someone shared a tweet with me.
This is the guy comparing himself to Kobe, Shaq, and Izzy. Of course. I mean, greatness. What is it? Game recognized game. Greatness is greatness. You know what I mean? And I haven't even brought up Michael Jordan yet. But listen. He's from North Carolina. I live in North Carolina. Like, listen, man. Greatness surrounds me, Mr. Colby. And your name was almost Kobe, so I'm sure that's probably why you're salty too.
Lucas going in. We got to set up an MMA media fight night. Luke Thomas, Ariel Helwani. I don't know who I'm gonna fight. Who do I beef with?
People think I'm a small guy. Some of these media members. Give me Kevin Iole.
You want Kevin Iole?
Bro, give me the frail old man. No, because could you imagine like your first like MMA media, and it's like you got to take on like a Luke Thomas? It just no.
Oh God, no, dude. Luke Thomas. However big you think Luke Thomas looks on camera, he is 3 times as large in person. It is insane.
When people were describing his forearms as loaves of bread.
Every time on Morning Combat, when he goes to adjust his glasses, the forearm takes up like 3/4 of the frame.
He's gigantic, and he says like, I'm not that athletic or whatever. It's like, my God, you are gigantic. Like, you put your hands on someone. That is a scary man. Or even when he was posing next to Brian Campbell, and Brian Campbell's like, I'm 6'2", and it's like, oh wow,
yeah, Brian's a tall guy too.
It's like, man, Luke Thomas is quite the beast.
Yeah, you know what? I saw Brian Campbell at UFC 244, but I didn't talk to him. And now, I'm way more likely to get a text back from Brian Campbell than I am Luke Thomas.
What did you ever you talked to Luke Thomas before? You've done something with him.
Yes, so we did. Back when I had the podcast with K-Jan, we had him on, and K-Jan actually was sick that week, so I did it solo, and that did terrific. I got like 10K over Bloody Elbow, so that was really great. And then if you head over to Combat Culture on YouTube, there's a series I did called The Insiders, and so it was kind of like a profile on MMA media guys. So we kicked off the season with Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell was next, then Chuck Mindenhall, Jordan Breen, and we wrapped it up with Ariel Helwani.
No, honestly, I love that series. There's one episode I didn't like, and it wasn't your fault. And I think a lot of people didn't like it either. But I thought it was great. I enjoyed watching every single one of them, pretty much.
Which episode did you not like?
You want me to say it?
I don't know. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but I'm curious. You can tell me off the air.
No, I'll tell you. I'm a man of the people. No, I didn't really like the Jordan Breen episode, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I noticed a lot of comments didn't like it that much either, but he did bring like a different perspective than anybody else, so I think you can appreciate that.
That was definitely the most interesting one, I think, in terms of I didn't really know what to expect, and it was like the way the conversation kind of went off of MMA and into. That's the thing. I think with Jordan Breen, it kind of went off track from MMA and kind of went into life and health. But for me, that was super interesting because I like those kind of conversations, but it may have been the wrong platform for such a chat.
The thing is, I love MMA media stuff so much, because I'm always trying to figure out how am I going to help. And when you watch this one, he took over a lot of it, to be honest with you. And
that's right. Yeah, Jordan's a chatty guy. I love Jordan to death. And I understand why he used to do radio, because you find me slowing down and getting stuck sometimes, but Jordan always has something that he can add.
Well, he's got a great following too. Like, you saw all the people that know so much about him. So, hey, shout out to this Caleb guy. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, Caleb says that he got like 30 follower. Please go follow Caleb on Twitter, guys. King Caleb at King Caleb MMA, if I'm not mistaken. He got like 30 followers from our Among Us live stream. I didn't. I set that sucker up. Where are my follows? I haven't seen that. Guys, I am gonna shoot a quick reminder. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Helps us drive traffic. Subscribe, tap the notification bell, and leave a super chat. That gets your questions and comments read on the air. And I'm not gonna even humor Caleb because he didn't leave a super chat. But Caleb, good things could happen to your follower count if you leave a little money.
This guy Shaq, like, money you don't even get.
I feel like Among Us brings out the worst of me. I was so mean to poor Caleb yesterday on the live stream, but it was do or die. We were playing Among Us, and I was one of the imposters. I got caught coming out of an event, and he was in the room. And as soon as the meeting started, he starts yelling, "Shaq did it! I saw him vent," and I immediately threw him under the bus. I was like, nope. Hey, Caleb, you jerk. You now have yourself a follow.
That's how you do it. You were asking about getting the follow from Stipe. I mean, Caleb got the follow from Shaq.
Bro, I literally I don't think that it's intentional. I think they just maybe don't even, because I've had so many times where like someone from MMA media will follow me and I'll just DM him and say, "Hey man, thanks for the follow. It's really cool." I love Caleb. Caleb's the best. And I'll shoot someone a DM and say, hey, appreciate the follow. You do great work. And they'll say, honestly, didn't even realize I wasn't following you. And so I imagine it's more one of those cases. But like, sure. Brian Campbell follows me on Instagram. Yeah. Instagram has nothing. It's like photos of me at music festivals, and that's about it. But he doesn't follow me on Twitter.
Man, Brian Campbell, I don't have enough good things to say because,
he's the coolest.
I do reach out for advice, stuff like that. And Brian Campbell, like he'll take a few days to answer you, but it's because he'll think about like legitimate, like he'll write you like a book. And, I remember reading some stuff he sent me, and it's like, it's super helpful. And it's like, you appreciate it so much, and you don't even know how to communicate to those guys, like how much it means to get, even a long message or anything like that. So it's, Brian Campbell, good things to say about him for sure.
Yeah, man. Honestly, this is the thing, right? People like to crap on these guys for whatever reason. And I know that people in these MMA media sub-communities like to, they want to know about the beef between Ariel and Luke, whatever that's about. I will say, in my experience, these guys have all been wonderful to me. Like Ariel, Ariel's come on the Insider series, so let me interview him. We put out the Max Griffin reacts to Black Friday fights. I texted Luke Thomas a month before that and asked him for some tips in terms of when's the best time to upload that video so that it has the most exposure. And he gave me all of his best theories on like driving video traffics. Like, these guys are all terrific. They're all really nice guys. They'll all do stuff for you. Dave Meltzer was super kind with his time. We had him on the Insiders. Luke got me in touch with Brian. Like, these guys, if you're in the business and if you're considerate and respectful towards them, they will throw you some bones here and there. It's all cool guys.
You know what, Ariel Helwani, I reached out to him once because I wanted some advice, and I think he's one of those guys that you want advice from, but I've heard him do enough podcasts where he says people reach out and they want general advice, and it's like, I don't like that. So I wanted to wait until I had something real specific.
Oh yeah.
And when I finally reached out to him, he gave me some really helpful stuff, and he was cool. So, I really appreciated that too, because someone like Ariel, it's like if he looks at you like, look at this douchebag, hit me up. It's like that's a relationship you've potentially ruined. So, but Luke Thomas, I've only ever talked.
Luke's hard to get in touch with.
Yeah, and when we talked on Twitter, it was always an argument. Like during the World Cup, which France won, by the way. He said something about Colombia or something, and I was like, yeah, well, France did well, and he was like, France played like shit. I saved the tweet, waited until we won the World Cup, and then I was like, you were saying, and then Luke Thomas is ready. Any argument, anything, he was ready, and he was like, my point was that they played like shit. That doesn't mean they couldn't win it. And it was like, it felt good to me, but I'm just glad he didn't block me for that.
No. Luke's cool. He's fun like that. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Us trying to show how cool we are with the MMA media folks that we can text.
Gushing over these people.
Hey, you know what? They are the experts and leaders in our industry, and so we look up to the people that we hope we can someday be like.
Not only be like, but someday, beat them. Take their jobs, become the new generation. I will come.
Look, I always tell the story. Uriah Faber always calls me young Ariel Helwani, and like I'm 80% confident it's just because we both have particular facial features. Uriah Faber insists that's not the case, but I like to pretend that it is.
I mean, take what you can, or you could be like, yeah, because of how great I am in my job and because of the future I have at ESPN. Like, Shaq, you got to value yourself.
Bro, man. I am not moving. No, I am. Where are you located now?
North Carolina, USA.
Bro, I ain't moving to the USA ever. The older I get, the less appealing moving to America looks.
All right, so TSN, the ESPN of
Canada. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's like my only hope. Aaron Braunstetter, hook up your boy.
I feel like Canadians shove that down our throat. Like, we have an ESPN. It's like,
no, it's all the same.
It's like, no, bro. Like, they call it Sports Centre. They write it different. It's like,
bro, you're French. What are you talking about?
Yeah, don't start comparing French Canadian with French people, man.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh man, but no, it's. But I mean, Canadians are big about it. It's like we have ESPN, it's TSN, we have 3 letters, all that stuff. I feel like if you made like an off-brand ESPN, you would get TSN. Like it's so close.
God, I'm starting to feel like an asshole. I promise we're just We're just talking as two guys in the business. We don't mean to be. Let me tell you, I am not getting paid like Ariel Helwani. I am not getting followers like Ariel Helwani. I am not getting traffic like Ariel Helwani. But as you can see, I don't have the smallest nose.
This guy. It's like, nah, but I mean, it's just great to see, like, when you look up to these people, because you hope to reach the point they're at someday, and even meet them at events and it's silly stuff like that. But you always appreciate when they're like regular human beings. You know what I mean? And I also say that because I hope to get a bunch of those guys on the podcast. But no big deal. Just tossing it out there.
Okay, let's take a look at the fight ahead. It's almost here. Charles Oliveira getting Vaseline shoved up his nose holes. How do you like the bleach blonde look?
I mean, yeah, it's good.
Fashion watch with Lucas and Shaq.
Yeah,
it's a good look. I don't mind it. Hasn't Tony Ferguson also rocked the bleach blonde look at some point?
Yeah, I mean, when you're losing your hair pretty badly, I don't know if bleaching it is really where you want to go. Like, no.
Is he losing his hair?
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, it's gotten real bad. And I think that's why he shaved it. I mean, no hate, but it's like if you're losing your hair and then you bleach it, you're pretty much finishing the job without meaning to. So.
I've definitely started to notice that some of my friends' hairlines are receding, but I don't really want to bring it to their attention because I'm sure they know and it would only make them feel bad.
Well, what I've heard is that when you finally start to notice yourself that you're losing your hair, everyone's already seen it. You know what I mean? Like you've already lost, something crazy like that. So, but I mean, my thing is always like as soon as I notice it, Michael Jordan. Just
it's going. Yeah, I'm hoping. I've had good luck up until this point, so I think we're gonna keep this train on the tracks.
No, I mean we're young. We'll be fine for now. But if you start seeing me wear a hat during interviews again,
there we go.
Lost the battle.
All right, Tony Ferguson has arrived. Lucas Grandsire, what is your pick? Who's taking this one?
Tony Ferguson's second round submission. I'm pretty confident about this one because I feel like this is
that's interesting.
Kind of thing we could see, but man, if this isn't a barn burner, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna throw a tantrum. It has all the makings of a great fight. Shaquille, what's your official prediction?
Tony Ferguson. I'm gonna go round 4 TKO.
Did you say round 4?
Round 3 TKO. I totally forgot this is a 3-rounder. You know what? This is my main event tonight. This is the fight that I'm most looking forward to. I think a lot of people are most looking forward to. So when I say when I think it's a 5-rounder, it's because I'm not even thinking about the flyweight main event.
Oh, somebody just insulted you real bad in the chat, man. I don't know if I would read that if I were you. That's just mean.
Colby. I've learned if I have learned nothing from Sean Ross Sapp, it is that absolute power corrupts absolutely. So be careful, or I might just have you doing really boring assignments.
Oh, are you his boss?
That's about as much as I can do. Yeah, he's doing our live coverage right now.
Oh, Shaq, you gotta lay down the hammer. You gotta Denzel.
No. I think it's hilarious when he roasts you. I just don't want him roasting me.
That's not hilarious. I'm allowed a little bit of self-confidence that I'm on this podcast. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But now Brendan Schaub, for sure, this fight's a draw, 100%. I love Brendan Schaub. Have you ever read the people will write I think it's fan fiction or something about him, and it's on Reddit. It's so funny. It's like one of them was Detective Schaub, and it was a gust of wind knocks him out.
Okay. We're not talking about sexy fanfic here.
What is it with you and always going to sex? With the Mackenzie.
Bro, if someone says I'm right, if I were to tell you I'm writing a fanfic, you should assume that it's sex.
I think it's sci-fi, aliens and shit. But I mean, maybe I just have a.
No, it's sex. As someone who's written fanfic before, as a dare, it is always sex.
As a dare.
I have a really I'll share this with you guys. I have a really weird tradition that started. We have an annual camping trip with my friends, and they dared me one year to write a fanfic about a couple friends, and it was graphic. Shameful. Like, I'm still washing the disgust off myself, but it's become a tradition now. Every year I write fanfic about my friends in obscene graphic detail that no one is asking for. Gotta practice my writing skills somewhere, right?
No, not like that. Tony Ferguson, you dig the bald look? Or I guess
you're right, he is balding. Tony Ferguson, guys, minus 160 favorite according to DraftKings. Co-main event, excuse me. Shortly on the way.
I'm excited for this fight. I mean, every Tony Ferguson fight is a barn burner, so there's no reason this one doesn't, live up to that.
Every Tony Ferguson fight is amazing.
But, go back and watch that Barboza fight. For me, watching it live, one of the greatest fights I feel like I've ever watched. I know I'm forgetting some, but I remember just being amazed watching that.
Like live in the arena or live
don't do that. That's going to sound shitty. Like, I'm in my room. I was in high school at the time. Like, nah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's up. Bro, if you've been to a media day and you see some of the random people that they let into those things, you would be shocked. Oh my God, you're so fast.
Look at that. Look at this. I'm setting myself up. What are you doing? Stop tinkering around. Let the master handle all this.
See, Colby, this is what I'm gonna turn into eventually. So if you keep making Brendan Schaub comparisons, I am bringing the hammer down on you.
Now, see, this is what I hate about StreamYard is that we very clearly have an overlay. They have to have a way to where it doesn't shift the overlay, things like that. Like, just put it on top of it.
I know. Yo, I love Tony Ferguson. He's already spinning around for no reason.
Me too.
It's so much fun to watch.
I didn't really appreciate him until the last couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, and now it's like, man, I'm glad that I am
head kick by
him.
Charles Oliveira. God, this is such a fun fight.
Yeah. Look at Charles' striking.
I am telling you, man, they've like accidentally morphed into mirrors of one another.
Right?
Both combinations, forward pressure, knees, elbows, spinning shit, and both have very, very offensive grappling.
Holy
shit. Charles picks him up, dumps him down.
I think Tony Ferguson's leg gave out. Like, that's something to watch, but
do you know if it was the same leg that he injured?
I have no idea.
I'm just saying, Charles Oliveira was fighting in the UFC when both of you were children. I mean, Lucas kind of still is, but relatively speaking,
that means nothing.
Sean, have you not heard Lucas, Shaq, Nick Baldwin, the kids bop of MMA media?
Yeah,
poor kids.
Yeah, I could see it. Meanwhile, I'm like one of the younger guys in wrestling media, and I'm not at all.
You are.
I'm not young at all. It's just everybody in wrestling media is like 50 or 60.
You know what? Here's a random question that this is not the right place for, but why is it like, when I came up onto Fightful MMA and we're talking about what can we translate from the pro wrestling side, etc. Mm-hmm. It's like MMA media is already very populated with media folks who are in their 30s to 50s. Why is it that pro wrestling that's been around for much longer has so few real media personalities?
Well, now there's a bunch that are starting. I mean, Ryan Satin for a while before he got picked up by Fox Sports, but Denise is, she's going to get signed. If she isn't in WWE next year, I'll eat a hat. But Gary Cassidy, Alex McCarthy, Kenny McIntosh, there are a bunch that are like sort of emerging, but for a long time there really weren't. And I think it's just the nature of wrestling. Like, quite frankly, a lot of people, like, it's tough to develop sources there sometimes. And then like a lot of people, they feel like they got to decide, I got to decide if I'm going to break stories or be friendly with these people. You can do both. It's just, you got to find a way to kind of weigh that. But even though wrestling is less mainstream right now than it's been before, more mainstream outlets are covering it, and they're finding more people that specialize in that. So it is getting a little bit more populated. And I mean, sometimes it's getting populated by MMA guys. I can't count the number of MMA guys I've seen that are like, down period in MMA, I'm going to cover some pro wrestling for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. This has always been a problematic area for Tony Ferguson. He's great off his back if you're in his guard, but you'll remember Kevin Lee had a lot of success against him up until that triangle choke submission.
I'm just so amazed at the hot streak that Charles Oliveira has been on the last really 2.5 years, because I thought that he was well on his way out. After the Felder loss, I was like, all right, he's losing to all this top talent. And beating Will Brooks was nice, but as we found out, it didn't mean quite what we thought it meant at the time. But man, he's been on such a ridiculous hot streak. And if he wins this, just unbelievable.
Oh, it's incredible. I put out a poll on Twitter kind of describing this main card as a changing of the guard. You had Kevin Holland versus Jacare Souza, Cyril Gane versus Junior Dos Santos, and Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson. I had a couple people be like, Charles Oliveira is not a new wave. He's been here. He's been here longer than Tony Ferguson. And you're right, but this Charles Oliveira is a new Charles Oliveira. He's on the best run of his career. Armbar! Oh,
Willie?
Oh my God, it looks like he's going to snap.
Wow. I had the feeling that Ferguson wasn't going to tap. It's Ferguson, but Jesus Christ.
He grimaced afterwards. I don't know how that arm's looking.
He just got right back up, went to the stool. That guy's savage.
That's insane, dude. Charles Oliveira looks so good. Wait, who did Colby pick for the main event? Colby, if you don't have he says Ferguson decision.
Oh.
Colby's a perfect 3 for 3. Right winner, right method, right round. So
nice.
Yeah, we hired the right guy for live coverage.
I want to see Oliveira versus Khabib now. I'm sold. Give me that fight.
I'd be down.
And it's wild, because if you would have told me that even
a year
and a half ago, I'd be like, really? But
oh, that was nasty.
Oh my god, that replay is so disgusting.
Also, shout out to my former top training partner, getting a big win on UFC Fight Pass last night. Brian McDowell, a no hooks rear naked choke on the ground. It was fantastic.
Shout out to him.
Wait, hold on. Is this fight not over?
No. That was the end of the round.
But I dead ass thought the fight was over.
I thought his arm popped out, but he's throwing it.
Yeah.
How are people doing that?
Well, let's be real. The fact that Tony Ferguson is throwing it is no real indication on if the elbow is located or not.
Sean Sheehan on Twitter, speaking to you directly, Lucas, says this fight isn't over, lads. I want to meet the guy who does these tweets, because I can tell you that Sean Sheehan is not very well liked by UFC PR.
Yeah,
but they feature his tweets all the time.
Yeah, they pick up mine sometimes.
I got one.
Really?
I got one. I never get on.
Check mark, my man.
When I heard that they are working on a verification system, I was so excited, man.
Yeah,
I've been waiting way too long for this freaking check mark.
I think. So I can't even remember who suggested that I needed to apply for it, but I did. It was years ago, right before they did it, and I was surprised. I was like, we'll see. Uh-oh.
Was that an illegal strike to Charles Oliveira?
Looks like it. He's all right. Get up.
Did it cut him, or was that cut from earlier?
I mean, let's be real. Dana White, whether or not he continues this fight will be the difference on what kind of fight he gets next.
Right.
I'm gonna help out our Periscope folks here, since they can't donate to the super chat, which all YouTube guys should. Who is winning right now? Charles Oliveira, dude. Crazy armbar. Arguably a 10 round. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it opened up the cut, so I mean.
Did it?
Did Pedro Nobre ever make it back to the UFC after? I mean, this was a different situation, obviously, but the Alcantara.
No, he's already bleeding on him, I think.
Ooh.
Sorry, Sean, you were saying?
Manhandling him.
The Pedro Nobre fight where he took the way out against Alcantara. I don't think he ever made it back to the UFC after that.
I don't think so. Ooh, big elbow. Yeah, it was an elbow earlier that cut Charles, not the up kick.
All right.
24.
God, this is so impressive from Oliveira. You
know, people that were riding the Khabib versus Tony train, Tony being Khabib's toughest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I always looked at it like, look how much trouble Kevin Lee gave Tony Ferguson. Yeah. Why would Khabib be any different?
With staff. And I mean, I saw that too. And I mean, of course, even Lando Venata gave him an awful lot of trouble, although that was a significantly different circumstance. To me, it was just like, I didn't think that Tony Ferguson was a good stylistic matchup at all, but he was also undeniable. He was, it's like, okay, he won so much. Like, how can you say no? That one blemish there for the longest time, Michael Johnson, who just managed to do well against the most random of people.
Yes. That's the best way you could describe that.
I mean, he beat Dustin Poirier, Edson Barboza, who was, I think, on a hot streak that at one point, Tony Ferguson, and of course, the GOAT, Artem Lobov.
Of course.
Right.
I'm going to make sure that... Colby, since you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you are doing a great job with these, with the live coverage here.
Yeah, we have a whole new crew of Fightful MMA writers and coverage guys that are doing really, really good. Very happy. Our longtime MMA guy who really handled a lot of it, David T, has kind of moved on to different outside MMA projects, but been really excited about all these new guys. We've had a different method and all that stuff. We're sort of rebuilding from the ground up.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Like, he is just dominant. He being Oliveira. Pronouns, pal.
Does this make you feel like you have the answer to Khabib versus Tony, like how that would have went?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this,
Yeah. No, I'm telling you guys, like, there's a lot of guys that have been able to control Tony Ferguson on the ground. And so,
but what about
I don't know. From the guard. The guard. That's the only place.
You're not going to get like that, though.
These little things like Oliveira putting the knee on the bicep from that spot, that is just such a smooth thing. And it gets Tony worried about other stuff. Now, what the? Oh, nice.
Yeah, Tony's trying to go for this weird triangle.
If anybody could pull it off, anybody.
It's mostly a leverage issue. Like, it's actually quite tight on the left side of Charles Oliveira's head. It's the right side that's kind of problematic because he can't really lean into it and create that pressure.
Yeah, I'm sitting there wondering, like, unless he gets his bicep pinned to the right side of his to the right carotid, I'm like, how would that really affect anything?
We saw a weird choke like this from the guard very recently. Was it a Bellator card? What was it? Someone secured a choke very much like this from the guard.
This much I guarantee you. Tony Ferguson has practiced this move on top of a medicine ball underwater.
Yes.
At least 20 times this week alone.
There it is.
Oh, man.
From the strangest place, like, to ever think that would have been the elbow to cut him.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you guys have the score so far? I can't imagine anybody has Tony's score.
Gosh.
Sean, how are we feeling about editorials from our new staff?
Oh, I would have at it.
Well, Colby in the chat says, when can I go on a Ferguson's always been wildly overrated rant? Have it on. Hey, man, have it ready for me in the morning.
have at it. It's Shaq's UFC access that gets revoked eventually, not mine. So
this is true. This is true. Also,
WWE
Colby,
already doesn't like me. So
also, Colby, check your Twitter DMs, please. So you think Denise is going to fly the coop to WWE land next year?
Well, yeah, she should. She's made for that. There are a few people in that I've met, and we've had several people fly the coop to WWE. Shane Helms did. Matt Riddle did. I mean, we had Frank Trigg on Fightful for a while. He flew the coop to ref UFC fights.
Yes, it's true.
Elias flew the coop to smoke weed all the time. Got to respect that.
Yes, sir.
But Yeah, when I see Denise Salcedo, I'm like, man, I've never met anybody that is really. I put her in the same category as Renee Young. I think they're both. I think she's that good. I think she can do absolutely anything. She's never done anything that's out of her depth, because nothing's out of her depth. I know we bust each other's balls on social media and stuff, but
that's all in good fun. That is all in good fun. Nick Baldwin, you see, look, dude, 1/3 of the Kids Bop group gets on the Twitter feed here on the UFC broadcast.
What do I got to do? Hashtag UFC 256.
Oh man, big slam! Look, Charles Oliveira, so aware of his positioning, tries to slam inside control, and as soon as there's a scramble, he immediately steps over. Now we kind of got him like a right butterfly. I don't see Tony Ferguson getting a sub or getting off his back in the next 3 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird scorecard.
See if I can get on the broadcast. Let's see. Hashtag UFC 256. I'm just gonna tweet some funny stuff, some pandering stuff. We'll get ourselves on here.
Can we add Blonde Oliveira to the mystical MMA beast now, along with C-Level Kane?
He's good, dude. He's looking good.
Who all is in that? C-Level Kane, Kimbo with 6 months of sprawl training, Dan Quinn, no kicks, no takedowns. You all might be too young.
Triangle attempt, Charles Oliveira.
Oh,
and it looks good.
Motivated BJ Penn.
Elbows.
Yeah.
Elbows.
Motivated BJ
he's gonna get the armbar, dude. Oh.
Ooh. You guys might be too young to remember Dan Quinn. Please tell me I'm wrong.
You're old, and we don't know who that is.
You all, okay, it is mandatory MMA homework for you guys to Google or just YouTube Dan Quinn Stevia. He was this guy that he used to fight MMA. He actually got beat by Frank Mir once, but he came back and he was just wild. But he swore that like stevia cured cancer, and somehow he convinced Diego Sanchez this was true.
Somehow.
And they hung out.
This is starting to ring a bell to me.
Oh yeah, he would.
Stevia thing is ringing a bell.
He would threaten Kimbo all the time, and he actually came back and won a couple MMA fights. Colby Furious, he's the fat burner guy, right? Yeah, technically he is. Oh, he's a burner, all right. I thought he almost slapped on a Darce.
Looked like. Oh, he's going for it.
How poetic. Tony loses by Darce. Sad. Very sad too.
This fight's already hurting my feelings, so.
Do we feel like Tony's done, or Oliveira just is that good?
It's not. I don't know, man. This is MMA, right? Every couple of years, the rest of the division catches up, and I wouldn't say Tony Ferguson's done so much as he's done vying for a world title.
Yeah,
there's still a lot of good matches you can make with him.
Of course, we say that.
What insane scramble! He does the craziest shit. I'm trying to drink my ramen over here.
That thing's got to be freezing cold by now.
Oh, it's ice cold. It is ice cold.
Disgusting.
It's still tasty.
I don't know if I told you this, but I've never had honest to God real ramen, just the dollar stuff from the store.
Yes.
And I went to Toronto to visit our boss's main offices, and right up the road I got real ramen, and it was so bad. What? And everybody in the office were so disappointed to hear that. They're like, "Oh, well, where'd you get it?" And then I was informed that we got ramen from, and I quote, the worst place in the entire province.
If you ever come to Vancouver, we got some dope ramen places down here.
That's a play. I've been wanting to come to like Western Canada because of James Lynch's photos all the time.
It is. They call it sea to sky because it's 15 minutes to the mountains, 15 minutes to the to the ocean. Yeah. You want to surf, you want to ski, whatever you like.
Charles Oliveira, dominant, man.
30-26 at least.
I'm thinking we could get a 30-25, and if you're feeling crazy, little 30-24, spice things up.
No, I don't think so. Like, it was very dominant, but like, how could you compare the 10-8 near? If you're gonna call 10-8 on the armbar attempt, did anything in round 2 or round 3 come close to that? I don't think so.
Yeah, but that's not how it works, Shaq. Like, they could both be 10-8s, and it's not the same kind of 10-8. Like, how great.
That's not how it should be.
Give this man a shittle tot.
I want to hear these scores.
What is a shittle tot?
The inverse of a title shot. A shittle tot.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Sean, can you do something about this Taylor Swift obsession over at Fightful Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, good luck. I've been trying. Like I said, we're going to get Denise signed by WWE. That'll do away with half of it.
That armbar was this.
I reviewed the album last night. Terrible numbers coming straight out of the gate with that review.
Did you like the last album? Because I heard from a friend of mine who genuinely does not like pop music that it was a good album.
I'd have to listen to that album. I haven't done it, which is a possibility. If the numbers climb this weekend, I'm open to it.
All right.
You never know. It's just that my street fight stories they get so many more super chats because you don't get into a street fight in Kentucky without some absolutely ludicrous circumstances surrounding it. That was unreal.
What is happening right now? They're trying to read this decision. Bruce Buffer, the ref, everyone is yelling at Charles Oliveira.
Well, just putting on the shirt while sweating takes 10 minutes, so.
It's come a long way from the esophagus tear or whatever it is he had against Max Holloway.
Is he wearing his mask with him? Like, what is with this ensemble right now?
And
is that an ear or a rock?
Chicken nugget or something.
Guys, leave us a super chat donation with your best guess for what on earth is in Charles Oliveira's hand right now.
There's no way that would work.
I mean, this guy battled going up to 155 for so long.
Yeah.
He did not want to do it.
Yeah. Silly.
It just seems like more and more these weight cuts are not worth the squeeze. Like, I think the best example is Anthony Rumble Johnson, the skeleton welterweight fighter, is a fucking beast at light heavyweight.
It is unreal to see. Like, he and Matt Riddle were welterweights. Mm-hmm. Matt Riddle's running around at like 220 pounds cut in WWE. Rumble Johnson is like, he'd be a good heavyweight. I mean, I don't know if he will be, but he would have been a fine heavyweight.
What did you guys see when he wanted to be the bodybuilder? And he was even talking about some of the supplements he was taking, but that's bodybuilding for you. But now he was gigantic. Like, he had like no neck. He was, I bet you.
Supplements indeed.
he was on the show with Brendan Schaub, and he was kind of open about it. He wasn't like, here's what I was taking, but he was pretty open about it. Like, you have to take that kind of stuff if you're going to do bodybuilding.
Yeah,
sure.
That's the culture, dude. I got just about every jacked Chad and Brad I know is on steroids.
I remember I should probably save the first time I trained with someone on steroids for a Friday night show, but it was humbling. It was very scary the first time because they told me that they had been doing steroids. They were very transparent about it. Oh my God. And this person did fight, I think in Bellator at the time. And I was not into wrestling to media, so it's not like something I could put out there, but holy crap, that was crazy. I think it's time for me to go downstairs and refill my drink, which Shaq is.
What do we have today? What
Minute Maid fruit punch, 0 sugar.
Oh God!
Which you accused me of not actually drinking.
Well, I can't hear me, can he?
Does he just leave?
I'm just saying. I'm gonna kick him out of this chat. Yeah. How do you like that, Sean? Let me just say, I am worried for his well-being with the amount of. It's just look. Minute Maid fruit punch is not good enough that you should be looking to substitute it out of your diet with 0 sugar Minute Maid fruit punch, and I will stand on that. And I refuse to hear anything but.
Sounds like I'm missing some kind of great.
Yeah, we have we got a little bit of a kerfuffle over his, like, he insisted we drink Minute Maid fruit punch during one of the episodes of 1-2 Punch, and I thought he was kidding. And I didn't see him drinking one the entire episode. Now he thinks I'm all high and mighty about this fruit punch, but it is not good. I'm very clearly wound up about Minute Maid.
Yeah, no, clearly very passionate about, fruit punch.
It's just a lot. It's absurdly sweet, and I can't imagine how much worse the sugar-free variant must taste.
I mean, what, are you a sugary drink guy?
I don't know, man. It's just like I like sweets, but I don't love sweets. So it's like it needs something else there for me. The Minute Maid fruit punch is just like a syringe of sugar to your heart. It's just aggressive. Same reason I don't really like energy drinks that much. It's just such an overload of sugar.
Well, with Bang, it's zero everything. That's why I tried it, but I still haven't opened it. So,
have you not been drinking it this whole time?
No, because I've as soon as this is over, I'm going to sleep because I have work in the morning. So I was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to need it or not. But so far, I'm holding up.
You're doing good, man. The Colby in the live chat's got you riled up. I'm keeping you entertained.
People don't realize I've got rant potential on certain subjects. Nobody's ever asked about them, but there's a
okay.
few.
What are the subjects, and are any of them human rights related?
Oh no, I'm
okay.
Rant about women shouldn't be fighting in the UFC. None of that.
We'll leave that to Dana White, circa 2006.
Oh, dear God, yeah. Now I'm surprised, man. This was a good ass card. Like, you look at a card like this on paper, and you're like, it could be good, and then then it's not. But man, so far I've enjoyed it. I mean, even Mackenzie Dern and stuff was great.
Sorry, I just got to get this highlights piece up.
Got Caleb telling me to try the birthday cake. I want to, but since I go to sleep right after this, it's a trap. That's how they get you. Like, the window to try that drink has already passed.
Yeah.
But if I have to do some kind of review to get the the views on YouTube, I'll do it.
You know that guy, the Big Chug guy? He's this big. I don't know what his name is. I apologize. He's this. Let me add Sean to the stream before he goes out and ruins everything that I worked so hard.
You removed me from the stream?
Yes. It was my passive aggressive response here.
I came here with string cheese, all kinds of stuff.
No,
man.
I already ate my string cheese. That's unfortunate.
I brought snacks.
Don't worry. We spent the majority of your departure complaining about Minute Maid fruit punch.
Really, it's delicious. It really is.
It's just such a sugar overload. It is.
It's zero sugar.
They don't make anything zero sugar unless it has way too much sugar in its initial form.
Yeah, so I'm drinking the zero sugar form.
I don't know, man. I'm not on the boat.
My wife got.
Yes, let's talk about your wife, Sean.
Huh?
Let's talk about your wife.
So, yesterday, maybe the other day, we went to Starbucks.
Okay.
She got one of these gimmicks. I don't know what it was, but she was like, "Oh, you can barely taste the coffee in it." And I said, "That doesn't sound like a good thing." And I don't drink coffee. It was ridiculously sweet, like too sweet. I used to work at a Boys and Girls Club of America, and I remember the first time the kids had me try bug juice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. My eyes popped out of my head. I was like, how can you all tolerate this? And an 8-year-old looked at me, and he said, "We're kids, Mr. Sean."
Sounds like a line from a movie.
Yeah. It's like, well played. I don't know how some of this stuff is safe for human consumption.
Look at this guy, Shaq, grinding, streaming, everything.
I know. That's why I need a co-host.
You need to get one of those quiet keyboards just for streams.
I like the clickety clack. I can mute myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Need to get like one of those rollout keyboards, the soft ones like they use on Swordfish while they're hacking stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Or the one with the lasers like you always see in the ads, but I don't know if it exists in real life. Like something like that, Shaq. You gotta,
I'm saying mean things about both of you under my breath.
It's like Shaq, just like Kevin Holland, like, if you wouldn't say it to his face, I mean, maybe you shouldn't say it at all, just
Hey, yeah, since Luke has shared his Kevin Holland beef, Sean, is there an MMA fighter or pro wrestler that has beef with you that you are willing to share right now?
Yeah, you're willing to share being the key here.
Well, I know that the Usos and Naomi both had me blocked on Twitter. I think that's because we've reported stuff about some legal things. I'm trying to think. Shawn Michaels has me blocked. Don't know why. I don't know. I can't really think off the top of my head. I know there are some people in WWE that don't like me because of the scope of my job. I don't know if they dislike me for me. I mean, that would suck. Okay. There's one, but it wasn't notable whatsoever. There was the Aaron Cobb guy that Gerald Harris slammed through the floor when Gerald Harris had his return fight, and the guy showed up like 50 pounds overweight. He blew weight by 50 pounds. He threatened to fight me, then he blocked me.
Well, then how's he going to figure out where you are?
Well, I don't know. And even if he did, he couldn't make weight for any fight that we're going to have. Yeah, I remember before that fight, like I had interviewed Gerald Harris leading into it because he was one of my favorite fighters. Mm-hmm. And Pat Miletich was talking about him just guzzling water to get to the minimum threshold in which they could be apart, just so they could have that fight. And then later on that night, he had another like big slam, and it was so satisfying. It was so satisfying.
All right, almost done with this article.
Well, I feel like everyone shared a beef with a fighter except for Shaq.
KO Kid Keith Berry. I'm just waiting for a super chat donation, and I will let you know what words were exchanged. If you guys want to know why KO Kid Berry threatened me and what he did to me, make like Ron Patel. Leave a super chat donation.
There you go. Big appreciation to Ron Patel, always showing us some love.
Oh, so much. And he doesn't even leave statements anymore. So our MO at Fightful, the protocol at this point is anytime Ron Patel leaves a super chat, you got to say something nice about him.
Yeah.
At length.
There's plenty of stuff to say nice about him. One of the most giving people I know. Mm-hmm. He sponsored a month of me not cursing. And then,
was Ron the one who did it?
Yes, he did that and ended up doing $1,200 worth of supplies to charities or shelters and a lot of things in my area. We were able to donate a lot of stuff.
Speak of the devil, guys. Another donation from Ron Patel. I want each of you to go around and say how you want to be more like Ron. Sean, you begin.
I want to sell drugs. He's a pharmacist.
I like it. Lucas?
He's a great drug salesman.
Hey, Vince McMahon should have given that guy a job 20 years ago, 30 years ago. No, 40.
What a great dude he is. He really is good. Ron Patel, not Vince McMahon.
I'm gonna point out that I wish I had half the facial hair that Ron Patel was, and that I often feel inadequate as a man because I am not graced with the follicles that Ron Patel is.
So also, I should mention, whenever we launch Fightful Select on the website as opposed to Patreon, looks like we're going to integrate some of the MMA content in there, at least what's applicable. So that'll be kind of cool. A little something else for MMA viewers.
Yes, please head over there, especially once your boy joins the party. I guess I can't call myself your boy because we got the Listen Your Boy podcast. Yeah, man, you dude. Yeah, homie. We're working on some cool stuff. I want to give away too much right now, but we've got some pro wrestling crossover content coming.
Yeah.
We got a video. I haven't decided what exactly is coming out tomorrow, but it'll be some iteration of One Championship fighters reacting to the 20 best KOs in One Championship history. And I'm talking like HD video of the fights, none of that, 2040p potato stuff. So got a double fix of goodness there. We had John Fitch ranked 12 of the best martial arts by quality and effectiveness. Go check that out. Of course, Max Griffin reacting to Black Friday fights. We're doing a bunch of fun stuff, so go support it. Click on it. Give it some love. All right. Be right back. I'll mute myself so not to clickety-clack.
Who you have in this fight, Lucas?
That's a tough question. I think I'm going to go with the proven Figueiredo.
I think so.
I say it like that, but I'm not confident that's correct. But it sounds like I know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I'm definitely him.
I love his approach, man. We've seen, quite frankly, no flyweight champion for a while, but then one before that was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll be around, maybe I won't. And Figueiredo's fought 3 times this year and won all 3, finished all 3, and that's something I think that division needs. I wish he would have made weight for that fight in February, but
I was telling Drake Riggs, it's remarkable to think that the guy who couldn't make championship weight at the start of 2020 made weight twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
circa end of 2020.
It's amazing.
Well, at the same time, if he's been in camp and all that stuff, I believe his weight would be naturally down, but it is tough to do, like, the back-to-back cuts like that. But I would assume the weight would be down naturally anyways, unless it went on that McDonald's binge right after the title.
But I mean, fortunately for him, that night, Dana White was like, oh yeah, he's fighting again in like 3 weeks. And it's like, whoa, because Dana always also says, oh, we don't make fights right after the card. And then he made a fight right after the card.
That's Dana White. Like, he says things, he does things, but
I've always liked Brandon Moreno too. I mean, ever since he got submitted on Tough, which was probably one of the last Tough seasons that I watched because it mattered. It was for a title fight.
Yeah.
And then he showed up like so soon after that and beat Smoka as a late replacement and then went on that hot streak. Always liked him. And he got on, I think he got in the UFC before a lot of the people that were in that actually won on that season ended up being in the UFC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because, they got on there in like December. So he was there a month, like almost a month and a half before after he lost. That was pretty wild. And
credit to him for his English too. Like, if you remember The Ultimate Fighter, it was like, he was having trouble. And now today, like, he's doing these interviews and stuff. Yeah. So it's always impressive when someone can, or it makes the extra effort to learn a second language like that.
You got to be a star, folks. Sean, I ask you this because I do genuinely care. Has bringing me along and sort of getting MMA off your plate renewed your enjoyment of actually watching the fights?
Oh yeah, significantly of watching the fights. Which a big part of it was my wife is a teacher, so now I have to open up these Saturdays a little bit more because those are the days that she has off, and I find myself like being excited. Now I don't often watch prelim fights anymore, at least not live. I'll catch. Today I caught a bunch of them, like Cub Swanson. That was fantastic. Really, Tisha Torres was fantastic. That was to be expected. Well, no finish with Tisha Torres is to be expected, but
we were talking about this earlier.
But yeah, but still, that was very, very cool. It was a fun show tonight. I didn't feel tired watching this. It's something that I've mentioned before. Wrestling fans always complain about a 7-hour WrestleMania. That's UFC every Saturday when you cover MMA. And that's before you get to the post show. And on the East Coast, it's even worse. I can't imagine how people in the UK that cover this sport handle things.
I'd just like to shout out myself here because I was in France. So I'm even like, I have an extra hour over the UK. And it's like you're at 4 a.m. watching, sometimes the whole fight is clinching against the fence and stuff, and you're half awake, and it's like, I woke up for this, really? It's like, I hate clinching against the fence. So, no, I mean, it makes you really look at the quality of the cards and try to figure out, like, what's worth, kind of ruining your sleep for at that point.
Yeah. I mean, still, admittedly, I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm like, why is this fight getting started at 12:30
They were doing
a.m.
such a good job for a minute there with starting fights at like 1 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know why they do this. And if you've ever been at one of these things, oh my God, New York City UFC 254 or 244, sorry. Security kicked us out because it was so late and we still had to edit all our content and upload all our videos. It was like 3 a.m. or something by the time the post-fight press conference ended. Like, why are you doing this? I'm going to sit for a little bit. So let's bring this down. Sit on my toilet. There we go. Unfortunately, this is the gimmick I've been handed. Some of us get the dong lord. Some of us get your career flushed down the toilet. Oh, that's nice.
I feel like I've never actually seen content from Shaq where he's sitting. Every time I look at it, I'm like, is he at a standing desk? Is he like sitting on a stool? Like,
The angle is good enough to where like I can't tell.
Yeah,
Yes.
half of the interview is just looking at Shaq like, what are you? It's like start swaying back and forth. I'll know you're standing. Like,
So in the pandemic era, I've gotten like that with green screens and a lot of productions. I'm like, are they in front of a green screen or is that an actual like? I obsess over it. I'm like, how does that work? Hey, there is Fightful sponsor Manscaped on the edge of the ring. Go to manscaped.com/Fightful. Get yourself a deal.
I feel like I'm the only person not sponsored by them. So I must be doing something wrong.
You're too young. You're too young.
There's stuff to shave. I mean, I
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there.
No.
Come
All right,
on.
well, Lucas Grandsire, it's been great having you on the stream. Here we go. Lucas Grandsire, please go follow him on. Please go follow him on Twitter.
Get his nameplate. Fix this. I am not him. I do have stuff to shave. What is this trash?
We're gonna have to get rid of all of them because look who it is. The point god is here.
No. Well, thank God we've got the point god joined by the pube lord over here. Apparently, Lucas informed us that he has pubes.
Well, no,
Jeremy.
not with Manscaped. Get your 20%. I deserve the sponsorship.
The problem with with StreamYard is the more people join, the more you see how I use blankets to soundproof myself.
Yeah. Jeremy, does this look familiar? This just hopped in the shot. Do you see this at gas stations?
Is that from last year? Did you just still have it? Is it a year
Guys.
old?
No, I ordered 2 pounds of it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
When we
Guys.
got our flat tire, this is what I survived on for about an hour and a half.
As main event is about to start, leave a super chat donation, and Lucas will count his pubes off camera and report back to us. Is it 4? Is it 5? You'll find out.
You can sell those at the pube fair.
Yeah. Deiveson Figueiredo looks like Chessman right now, Jeremy, with the red in his hair.
That was a match, wasn't it?
It sure was. It was a match.
I hope he uses a guitar and smashes it over Joe Rogan's head.
That would be great. Oh man. This is one of the first, like, even though I like the Benavidez stuff, like, it feels like Figueiredo is a headliner. I mean, not obviously to the degree of other people, but I feel like there's some real respect with the title right now. And
He's the god of war, man. He gets those finishes. That's what we've needed in this division. Not to say that, like, look, Demetrius Johnson finished people, but Deiveson finishes people violently and quickly.
I so badly want to see that fight, too. I want to see Demetrius Johnson fight him so bad.
They got to trade. They got to make another trade to get Demetrius Johnson.
They should have worked out a 3-team deal with Rumble Johnson.
Yeah. They got to throw in draft picks at this point because they ain't got much return on that Ben Askren deal.
I was going to say, do you think, considering like what DJ was able to pull in the UFC, do you think they got a better one-off payment on Ben Askren than they would have keeping DJ?
They did, in the sense that Askren made Masvidal. That's about the only way.
Yeah, like that's the most significant argument, is that Ben Askren was an easy target for Masvidal.
Truly. Imagine what would have happened if they didn't make that trade. Imagine where Jorge Masvidal may be right
Meanwhile, Demetrius Johnson is 3-0 in one. Hasn't fought in over a year. I do miss that, but
yes. Well, I mean, he'll be fighting very soon. We got an interview set up with him Tuesday. Lucas Grandside did a great interview with Demetrius Johnson. Go check that out.
Legitimately, probably at this point, my favorite fighter of all time.
Demetrius Johnson?
Yeah.
Ooh, Brandon Moreno. Nice dog. Both these guys, Deiveson's keeping his hands low.
Ooh.
And just kind of like dipping and leaning out of the way. Moreno did a really good job of fighting off the takedown attempt. And now he's got him in Lucas's favorite position, clinches against the fence.
I love that jab set up to the takedown attempt. Even if Moreno got his underhooks in really quick, it was still very crisp.
Look at that.
Ooh, nice. Wow, look at that. Like, he's got
Deiveson's doing such good jobs with those butterflies.
Yeah, Figueiredo's got a lot of power in his legs to be able to roll through like that and pop up with the butterfly, like you mentioned.
I love this confidence. He's just keeping his hands low and completely just leading out of the way of these jabs.
That's what a lot of people have wanted to see out of this division too. Could you imagine this guy fighting Mighty Mouse Johnson in his prime?
It would be incredible. I think it would still be competitive. People act as if DJ is washed, but
no, he's 34. He's still winning.
I still don't think he lost the Cejudo fight.
I don't either.
No, he didn't.
No.
And I think a lot of people forget how bad Demetrius abused Cejudo in that first fight.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, everybody talks about your Olympic gold medal. I'm going to initiate the clinch with you. Okay, that was cute. I'm going to get up and spam you with knees for the next minute. Enjoy." Like, he took a takedown from Cejudo, said, "That's not going to work for me, brother." Got up and kneed him several times until he was incapacitated.
Jeremy, check your Twitter DMs, by the way.
I just did. Thank you.
And you know what, Jeremy? Let me say, I came into your stream a little bit when you guys were over at Fightful Gaming.
Personal.
I would like to see you lean back from my Taylor Swift disses the way Deiveson is leaning back out of these jabs. You're making yourself an easy target.
I gotta respond, right? Because you're over here accusing or crediting Denise with the Taylor Swift love on Fightful, and I take that very personally. Let me pull, and I took that personally, Shaq.
I mostly just like to stir the pot.
That's fine. It's all jokes to me. It's all fun games for me.
Yes.
I've started to use the Isaiah Thomas reaction as a meme. And I met the qualifications for that.
Fun trip there by Brandon Moreno. This is competitive.
Another good fight on this awesome card. One of my favorite cards.
Really good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be nice to pay more attention to it, as there's been 18 wrestling events going on. But
Leo Rush as Spider-Man was pretty incredible.
Yes.
I mean, I do wish that Randy Savage were alive so we could get a run in and Bonesaw is ready. We need one of those. But I actually messaged Leo Rush. I was like, that was pretty cool. I sent him a tweet that Kyler posted 2 years ago where Kyler said, "I'm waiting on Leo Rush's Spider-Man impersonation." And that ate pretty well. Bunch of visionaries at Fightful.com.
Leo Rush on the challenge. He's allowing me to write about the challenge weekly.
Dude, I'm sorry, I can't get enough of Deiveson just dipping away from these jabs.
Yeah.
I got one.
No respect. No respect for Moreno.
This is the most competitive fight I've seen Deiveson in since he started fighting for the title.
And he's still acting like it's not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The head kicks are good.
Close with those head kicks.
Yeah, he's timing it really nicely.
And I mean, Moreno did he's TKO'd people as
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Is Brandon hurt?
He's definitely hurt.
His
legs are wobbly.
At least he's doing a good job of still trying to get back to the center. Like he's trying his best not to get held back against the fence.
He's got about 10 seconds here to just try to make it
Deiveson
through.
hits so hard.
He does.
I'd really like to see what Deiveson looks like in round 4. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Someone's got to get him there.
How you guys had the first one scored?
Oh, Deiveson.
Oh, yeah. Deiveson for sure. 10-9.
Jeremy, Joel keeps delaying this Galactic Wrestling Fightful Gaming stream. When are we doing this, man?
I'm fine. So you were in there for a little bit. Joel actually cheated on you with that game because we played. Yes.
Yeah. I tuned in.
Oh, that is unforgivable.
Joel was like, I want to play this game. And he's like, Shaq, I hope you forgive me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea.
Let me call out his ass right
Don't
now.
worry, we've got a whole nother platform to launch soon.
But I mean, I got Tuesdays and Thursdays free, although I'm doing a thing with Denise on Thursday, so that's no longer free. I would love to do karaoke with Denise. She says she will not do like actual.
Really?
She says she won't sing. Yeah, but this was a while ago before you broke her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
She did commit to doing karaoke with me, like when the world opens up and we're hanging out or whatever at events. But I don't know if she'll do it like on camera or on stream type deal.
I am the current title holder of best MMA media karaoke star. So
I mean, I'm
for the crown.
I effectively dropped fuck with Dre Day, and she's got to drop real motherfucking G's now. I mean, that's what's gonna happen.
Did you like Galactic Wrestling?
It was fun.
It didn't look good at all. Rumble Roses looked like a lot of fun.
Rumble Roses was fantastic.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about games that Lucas Grandsire isn't old enough to play.
What are you talking about? There's stuff to shave.
God.
I don't. This is not becoming.
Manscaped has got me in trouble so many times. Like,
man.
No, we're not talking about this, guys. This is not.
I'm so fortunate.
Why does Fightful Pro Wrestling get butter disregard and I get Luke's pubes?
First of all, I never mentioned pubes. Everybody just automatically assumes, like. Maybe I was talking about my armpit hair. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
I just came in here and we're talking about pubes. I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Nice combo from Figueiredo.
He's just slipping right under these punches and then returning with 3.
I love it. He's like spamming the old fight night combo. Left body, left head, right head. Yeah. I mean,
oh, Moreno, nice takedown. Let's see if he gets caught in a guillotine choke. Dude,
what happened?
That was way too easy.
Yeah, I was saying something happened there. I don't know if he got poked in the eye or.
I think so. Reset that on the ground, I wonder.
It should, right?
Look, there's a bunch of. I'm so obsessed with Galactic Wrestling. There's some secrets you got to get into. If you pick certain combinations of tag teams, they have their own team finishing moves that they do. They're unique to them. There's.
See,
so
we play all these games, and I've barely heard of them, and I've never played them. And so that's sort of the appeal is like, hey, let's play a bunch of games we've never played before. I've never played before.
Well, Galactic Wrestling, it's based on Ultimate Muscle, which is an anime. And Ultimate Muscle is a pro wrestling themed anime, and they all wear masks. They're all basically luchadors in a sense, just alien luchadors.
It's a cool game. Like it's certainly something different. But I'd much rather play that than any of these WWE games.
Oh, they're slugging.
Oh, this is so much fun.
I got Saturday Night Slam Masters on the docket, whether it be me or multiple people. I love that game.
At this point, I don't know. Is the Mexican fighting spirit a stereotype or genetic?
Genetic.
Yes.
It's incredible what these guys do.
Unless you're Cain Velasquez.
Why are we burying Cain Velasquez?
C-level Cain.
Really asking. I'm like, I can ever forgive him through the pain that I was put through last fall covering his pro wrestling career and the booking that surrounded it. Just horrible decisions.
I was there as well. What are we talking about here? They used him perfectly. It's amazing they brought that man in and had him as the last visual of their first UFC on Fox show. And then what they did after that with him.
Or you mean WWE on Fox? Although it is surprising that he was
too.
Last visual on UFC on Fox.
Exactly. Yeah, I did mean SmackDown on Fox, but he was also, you're right, the last visual of UFC on Fox. He didn't follow the game plan, Sean.
I know this couple of really terrible eras.
Yeah.
I know this is an MMA stream, but I got mad at some people, pro wrestling people on Twitter the other day. Let me just say, if you have takes that are exclusively pro AEW or pro WWE or any other promotion, your takes are bad.
Usually, yeah.
Someone, when I tweeted that Impact did a better job presenting Omega as a big deal than AEW.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. You get the this is another WWE mark, just hating everything AEW does. I was like, dude, I hate all wrestling equally. Don't come at me.
Oh, you can't even levy fair criticism towards or like criticism towards Impact because everybody's like, oh, you're picking on the little guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm picking on the little guy that just threw 2 wrestling companies off their network.
Oh, Moreno's hurt. He's covering his eye.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
But that was an uppercut. I don't think that was an eye poke.
Yeah.
Dude, wow. What great instincts. He's in a bad position and he explodes. Deiveson's so good, though, at getting his feet in there. Dude, Moreno's so tough.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that was a cool little combination that Moreno threw. Didn't have much power behind it though.
A cute little.
It was cute. He went like pat pat.
So mean.
No, it was nice. It was sweet.
Nobody's trying to be cute or sweet, bro. You're trying to whoop his ass.
Unsuccessfully. So guys, what was the shift that happened? Because I had this editorial that I always meant to write, and now it's obsolete. Which is, for a long time, I'd say, like this 2016 prior, we got into this stretch where we left the dominant champions that were Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, and we entered an era where guys couldn't hold the title for more than 1-2 fights. And my argument was MMA has gotten to such a high level that the margin of error between, number 1 guy and number 10 guy is so small. Like any of those guys could win the title on any given night. But it seems like we're back to a place now where you have dominant, undefeated champions. Like if you combine the win-loss record of Stipe Miocic, Israel Adesanya, Habib Nurmagomedov, Deiveson Figueiredo, they're almost perfect records. Like what is happening that we're getting back to this point now where we have people running away?
I think it changed because of USADA. I think it had to have been a bigger reason. But now, I mean, we are seeing people like Habib and Usman and Shevchenko, Nunes. I don't know what dragged it back, but I do think that USADA helped put us in that boat where we didn't see as many dominant champions.
For a while, yeah. Yeah, man. Sports ever evolving, I guess.
I think those guys and girls are, at least some of them are just so elite at certain things that they do. Like Habib is just such an elite wrestler, grappler, that it just doesn't matter. You've got to be
huge overhand, right?
You've got to be that good in your position to beat him. And like when you're
okay.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
Dude, Moreno is so cool. He doesn't take any
attacking, man.
He doesn't take any shit. He's like, I'm rocked, I'm hurt, and I'm just gonna fight.
But yeah, with all those guys, like they all just have like one elite skill that you can point to that where they're just head and shoulders above everybody else.
And that's how it used to be. For a long time, that's how it was. Oh my god. Moreno can't stop moving.
Figueiredo's
combo. Oh my god. That was a mean elbow. Ron, actually, I'm in the toilet today.
He's sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, so I think it's like a poetic imagery to where my career is going.
Oh my God.
Figueiredo's throwing that elbow when he's caught Moreno a couple of times, but that's also led to a couple of body locks.
Hey guys, what is your dream karaoke song? Like, what is the song you've always wanted to perform but still haven't had the chance?
None.
Yeah, I've done them all.
Not a one.
I need a my problem is my dream song, and I try to do it with the girl running the karaoke station, but she let me down. I want to do Promiscuous. I've done Promiscuous, but the problem is I haven't found a girl that can hold a candle to my skills. So
I sang Man of Constant Sorrow at my high school prom. Rocked that one.
What high school has karaoke at prom?
Dude, that high school's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty dope prom, honestly.
Yeah, I've done pretty much all the songs that I would like to do. Deiveson just walks through everything Moreno's throwing.
Yeah.
And he's landing some decent shots. It's just he's not taking them, or he's just taking them with ease.
Ooh, man, Moreno's got a chin. But you know what? Davidson's not looking tired.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
He looks so calm. That's magical.
He just eats every shot. He doesn't even care.
I'm curious to see what the pay-per-view buys are for this, but I would say if you can get Deiveson on the
That was low.
So here's the question: does Moreno take the DQ title win?
Yes.
What was that?
Would it be a DQ title win?
What? So do you guys remember what round it was that Anthony Smith could have gotten out with the title but didn't? Because at some point they will go to a technical decision, but I don't know if we're far enough into the fight for that.
Yeah, I think it's got to be like over half the fight. I mean, it's been a while since, but I think it'd be a no contest.
Yeah,
because of accidental.
Depends on the ref too.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. I guess because this is accidental. I think John Jones hit an illegal knee to a downed opponent, so I think that would have been the difference there.
Did Anthony Smith win the other week?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
I'm super up to date on my UFC.
Another benefit of Shaq coming aboard was that Jeremy also got an extra Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
I'll watch the fights that appeal to me. I saw Anthony Smith was fighting. I did not know the guy who was fighting because his original opponent had to drop out, right?
No,
it got moved to the main event was good, and then Anthony Smith was the co-main. Yeah,
and then it got moved up.
Yeah. Oh, regardless, I did not know who Anthony Smith was fighting.
Sean picked a really good time to rope me in the middle of an ongoing global crisis. Nothing going on a Saturday night. All the mistakes I made in my life are really going to hit me in the face once everyone's vaccinated.
Well, I mean, I also this week I was like, I told my wife, "Oh yeah, I'm off this weekend," forgetting that Anthony Joshua fights, AAA had their biggest show, Impact had a show, and UFC had a show, and I feel like I'm even missing something.
Japan,
Japan.
Guys, Deiveson just got docked a point.
Got a point. Ooh,
I like how I like how referee Jason Herzog's like shaking his head in disapproval, like he's scolding a child.
Not up in here.
Hey, you know what though? That might have been what Moreno needed. A little kick in the nuts to wake him up and also give him a breather.
That does not give you a breather.
Well, he looks fresh. He looks ready.
You can't breathe during that. I would not use the term breather.
People talking about loads in our staff chat. Thought that we were kicking off to a sponsor. Well, we weren't.
It actually reminds me of something I was going to share earlier, Lucas. We were talking about Frank Mir's 17-year-old daughter Bellamere getting a big win.
Ooh.
In her second professional fight, and where is this? Oh my God, these guys are chewing up the DMs. This is where I post important work-related information, folks. All right, let me find this.
I love how Figueiredo hops in with that lead left hook, too. Just jumps right into it, puts everything he has behind it.
Oh yeah, so Bellamere wins her second pro MMA fight, and one of our staff writes, "She looks so goddamn scary for a teenager." But I wake up and all I see on my notifications is she looks so goddamn.
Oh yeah.
And I was about to tear someone apart. That's a 17-year-old girl, folks.
Yeah.
Crisis averted. It's all good. We didn't hire weirdos.
That's debatable.
Any names you want to mention, Jeremy?
I mean, myself, honestly.
Fun fact, I got my last gig at Bloody Elbow because one of their staff was exposed as a convicted owner of child pornography. And so I thought to myself, I wonder if there's a job opening right now. And I got my Bloody Elbow.
Yeah. All right, let me clarify before I get in trouble. I know that's but let me clarify. When I say weirdos, I don't mean in that way. Yeah, I think I'm a very weird person, but not like that.
No, we all are. Weird.
Not like that. I mean, that one.
Not like that.
Yeah, not convicted weird, okay?
I remember when that story broke. I was at the mall and I was like, what happened?
Yeah. And people, like, I've had this happen. Like, sometimes people don't like what I wrote when I was a Bloody Elbow. They compare. They'd say, these are the guys that had a convicted sex offender. I'm like, guys, they fired him, and they were super transparent. They released entire documents of the staff trying to figure out what they're going to do about it.
Like between, I don't want to throw out names of conversations, but to further implicate those people in any negative connotation or positive, but they were very transparent about it.
Super transparent. All right. Anyways, that's enough of that subject.
Yeah. Oh man, forgot about that.
So what do we have this at right now? 3 rounds to nothing. Any 10-8s, or are we all going 10-9?
Well, 3 rounds to nothing, but Figueiredo has a point doc.
Yeah.
So it's
9-9. I thought Moreno did good that last round, though.
Good enough?
But,
you thought?
Yeah.
I mean, right now he's winning this round. He's winning this round right now. Okay, so that puts us at 2 rounds to nothing, and we're in the 4th.
So 29-27.
So if Moreno's winning this round, I think you heard Deiveson. If he's winning this round and he wins the next one, we have a draw.
Yeah, it's possible. But let's see how the rest of this round plays out. Yeah.
Oh, nice to see David. Oh, there's that guillotine. Brandon Moreno, great job, landed in side control. Brandon Moreno, I'm so impressed by his explosiveness. Like, the speed in which he initiates these takedowns are insane. There's no tell. He's just stationary one moment, and he's got the guy down the next. I'm getting the Joe Rogan vibe now. You know when a guy starts like. You know when Ally Quinta fought Habib and he like kind of did okay a little bit, and Joe Rogan's just going crazy.
Yeah.
Because Habib just bullshitted around in that fight. Rogan's like, "Oh man, if I Quinta, he could have had him."
Yeah, that's the same thing that's happening right now.
And I love when elite fighters like that, because Cormier did that against Anderson Silva. Mm-hmm. You could just tell he was like, late change. And people are in Joe Rogan's like, oh, could you imagine if John Jones had showed up on this night? Who was Habib supposed to fight that night? Tony, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
he hurt him!
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's hurt!
No!
Wow!
Oh, he's hurt bad.
Yeah, he's not blocking any of those.
Well, I said I wanted to see what he's like in championship rounds, and he's starting to look tired.
Yeah.
Dude, this is such a fun fight.
All the way down, eating punches all over the place.
Imagine if this fight was on the undercard of like a Conor Dustin. Like, that's the one thing Deiveson needs. And I think he could totally explode in popularity.
Oh my God.
He's not the hands down, move away defense ain't working as well in the fourth round.
Yeah, it works when you're fresh and you're quick, not so much.
Yeah.
Flat-footed too.
Dude, Moreno's so tough.
Man.
I can't believe. And like Deiveson's supposed to be the hardest puncher in this division.
And Moreno's so good. Punch as well too. Like he doesn't look like he's been taking much.
Brandon Moreno doesn't have a lot of knockouts on his record. Let me take a look. So Moreno is 3 knockouts and 18 wins.
Oof.
Yep,
10 submissions, 3 decisions. Oh, that one hurt Deiveson.
Yeah, it looked like he got hurt on the takedown.
It might have been the clash of heads a little bit because I think Moreno's forehead got him on the chin there. Dude, this is awesome. This is an awesome fight.
Immediately one of the best flyweight fights of all time.
Oh,
that elbow hurt him. That was nasty.
He's complaining about eye rakes.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it.
Figueiredo going full Ric Flair with the low blows and the eye rakes. He's lacing up a figure 4 right now. You all just don't see it.
Yeah.
Figure 4 leg lock. Moreno's gonna reverse the pressure.
We just need him to check his own.
Wow.
I love how much, especially in the last few years, that elbows from the guard have gotten or from the bottom have gotten.
Oh my God. Did you see what Moreno tried to throw there? Oh my God. That looked like a machete.
Oh my God. Connected with that. Holy
oh man.
Oh, Jesus.
He was going for the...
That's Moreno's round.
Yeah, Moreno won that round.
What a shift.
That was incredible.
Figueiredo was going for the hidden blade right there.
That was awesome.
That exchange.
Jeremy, did you see the Kevin Holland KO?
I did.
Souza?
Yes.
I saw
that was absolutely insane. I felt bad for Jacare. I'm a longtime Jacare fan.
But yeah, you went to every Strikeforce show in the history of time live.
Actually did. But yeah, that KO was nuts to do that to him from the bottom like that. I saw Dos Santos get starched as well, which another longtime guy just getting killed.
Passing of the torch tonight.
Yeah, more or less. I saw Jose Aldo fights next week, and I was like, oh man, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. Is that at 145 or 135 rather?
I do not know. He's facing Marlon Vera, so I think that's at 135, isn't it?
Yeah. Thompson versus Neal. You got Mikel Pereira. That's an okay fight. Just him in general. Anthony Pettis on the show. Yeah, it's okay. It's an okay show. Marlon Moraes, Rob Font. That's a good one.
Wait, Pereira's taking on Chaos, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So that's a pretty good main card.
I was supposed to email some questions to Michelle Pahea like 6 days ago. Whoops.
Come on,
Chad.
Well, someone hired 5 people.
I will maybe watch it. There's Final Battle next week and TLC next week. Saturday night.
We'll be on the air during Final Battle.
Yeah, thank God.
Hey, look, speaking of the great, the awesome, the helpful Brian Campbell, there he is on the screen.
Oh, nice kick to the body.
Very nice.
All right, so we're saying if Moreno wins this round, we could be looking at a draw.
I think it would be a draw if Moreno wins this 10-9.
Unless the judges get, the judging is judging. It could be possible.
I've seen a few of our media colleagues actually having it 38-37 Moreno right now.
So they get Moreno the third.
And the second, I guess. Oh no, yes, the third and the fourth.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the third. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that would be the thing. If any of the judges gave Moreno the third, I guess 2 would have to give it to him for majority decision.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be a majority draw.
Yeah.
These scorecards are about to be all over the place. I mean,
Yeah, I think they are.
They're all messed up.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, I'm not denying their scorecards because I don't think they're dicking around in a live chat right now with 3 other people.
Yeah.
Dude, Deiveson's just starting to throw kind of wild and ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier. Like we had to see how he looked in that 4th round or beyond the 4th round, but not as crisp. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the movement is so different too. I mean, flat-footed. It feels like some of the speed is gone, the quickness. But
Look at those collarbones. They're aggressive. Oh, yeah. You guys see what Joe Rogan's talking about? If you look at Brandon Moreno's left forearm, there's like 2 balls swelling up on either side of it. Shout out to Manscaped. Who knew all I needed to do to get ahead in media was just make dick jokes all the time?
It works. I just got a new contract because of it.
There we go.
God.
You just got to know when the line can't be crossed.
Yeah, you can't show ass cheeks on the air. We learned that this week.
Wait, who showed ass cheeks?
Nobody. Fortunately.
I tried. I was stifled in my exposure.
Oh, look at Israel Adesanya putting over the flyweight division. Yo, Moreno needs to do something.
When does Izzy fight again?
We don't know. They've been talking about a super fight with Jan Blachowicz, but they also haven't. I don't think they formally announced it though, did they? Because Jan was saying something about is he not being ready or.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Cannot wait until that man fights again.
I want to see Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira first. I think Glover really deserves it, and
what is this Glover Teixeira resurgence here?
Like, it's incredible. Okay,
I've always liked Glover.
Well, the dude is 41 years old.
Yeah.
He was on a 5-fight winning streak with back-to-back finishes of Thiago Santos and Anthony Smith.
Fun story about Glover Teixeira that the great Showdown Joe once told me. Glover was like, I guess, in Toronto doing media. And he's like, hey, Joe, what are you doing this weekend? And this is after their interview. Joe's like, I'm putting together a deck. And he's like, cool, I'm coming over and I'm helping you put together your deck.
I've been told that Glover Teixeira is the coolest motherfucker.
So another fun story of Glover Teixeira. This was at a Bellator event. He was there. And we were sitting there for the press conference. And he goes, where are you guys going? I was with Larry Zonka. He's like, where are you guys going after eat? I was like, Waffle House. He's like, all right, I'll join you guys at Waffle House.
Amazing.
Glover's the coolest dude.
This is what he does.
Oh, that's great.
It's like incredible because if any other 30 to 40-year-old bald dude is like, hey, where are you going? I'll be there. Like,
yeah,
fuck this weirdo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was a beautiful throw.
This was important to this.
That was.
I
think this wins him the round.
Yeah, I think that sealed it.
Yeah,
might have got him the fight.
Woo. I was gonna say, Damon's kind of. That was a good fight.
That was a hell of a fight.
It was a fun one.
Wow, the amount of testosterone in this hug right now is. I can say I've never been hugged like that. But yeah, you can't and you wouldn't turn down an invitation from Glover Teixeira.
Yeah, of course.
It's not even an invitation. He just invites himself. He's like, I'll be there. Like, all right, cool. What am I supposed to say to that?
And you have
Piss off, mate.
So did you go to the Waffle House with Glover?
Yeah.
How was it?
He didn't eat with us, but he was just there at the Waffle House. He was with his team. But we gave him the recommendation. We sat in the booth, not next to him, but behind him or whatever. And so just like cool dude. And then he was like, "Thanks for telling us." I was like, "Sure,
guys,
dude."
If two of the judges gave round 3 to Brandon Moreno, we're looking at a draw.
Okay.
And honestly, I want to see a draw. Not because I think it's the right call, but because it's the only way Brandon Moreno gets an immediate rematch, and I want to see this ASAP. I want to see this at you, dude. Another quick turnaround. UFC 257. Let's do it.
That's what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, after a broken forearm will heal in 6 weeks.
Yeah, sure. Who's Deiveson fight after this? Is this the?
Well, Cody Garbrandt says that he's been promised the fight in March because he's had long-term health complications from, that thing we can't talk about on the air because of YouTube. And then, Henry Cejudo is doing as typical. I'm going to fight Jake Paul, Deiveson Figueiredo, and women. So.
Yeah,
women.
I hope Cejudo sees this performance and is like, yeah, I'll come back and do this fight.
Yeah, it's just when I hear Garbrandt, I'm like, oh, great. A guy who has never made the weight and has one win since 2017 started. Like,
I want to see it.
I want to see it because I think Garbrandt's going to get starched.
Yeah, that too.
What's your beef with Garbrandt?
I just don't like him.
I've always said Cody Garbrandt seems like the kind of guy, he wouldn't take a dump in your truck, but he would absolutely know who did it and wouldn't tell you. That's Cody Garbrandt.
Here comes the official decision. No one knows who won. It's fine.
Yeah, Rogan and Cormier are like, I don't know.
Oh, name of the judges.
Oh, we got one draw.
It's a split draw?
Majority draw.
It is a majority draw.
Still.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still the champ, but majority draw is going to set up the rematch.
All I can say is Cody Garbrandt can get fucked.
Yeah, he's not getting that fight.
I think he's still getting it. Dana loves Cody Garbrandt. He's like, yeah, Cody's going to get it. Doesn't matter.
So tell me, guys, obviously, if it was a 10-8 because Brandon Moreno dominated one round and it was a draw, that's one thing. It's a draw because of a point deduction off an accidental low blow. I'd say just because of how much fun the fight was, they might do a rematch. But do you think in another circumstance they might just move on?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Especially with Garbrandt, yeah.
Okay, we got one staff member who keeps picking very different decisions than me, and I'm starting to lose confidence in their scoring ability, which is fine because they don't need to score.
Sean,
do you ever rely on the MMAdecisions.com gimmick? I refer to it constantly.
Yeah, I've used it in the past. Sean, I've got I guess a bone to pick with you over something.
I'm more known as a Taylor Swift reviewer than you are.
Did you? I heard you freaked out that the bald bit that I did on the SmackDown show, calling Hannah bald.
I didn't freak out.
She is messaging me and saying he was like, "What the fuck is he doing when you called me bald?"
No, I did not say that.
Well, now she's throwing shade at you in the DMs.
I absolutely did not.
She said that we should have warned you about the bit.
No,
I'm pretty sure he doesn't care.
I don't care. I mean, yeah, sure. I donated my hair to charity because somebody was insecure about being bald, and you completely just crapped on charity, Jeremy. But
I didn't go. How? I didn't say anything bad about charity. Hannah didn't donate her hair to charity.
Yeah, she did. That's why she's bald.
She told me she's just losing her hair.
She's not really bald.
I know she's not really bald.
No, I didn't say anything. I mean, here's the thing. I often forget the conversations that she and I are even having. Like, we have the worst memories. Also, I don't know where my phone is to
message her and yell at her.
At this.
So, folks, the fights are over.
Yeah.
Shall we bid farewell to the fine folks?
I will. See you later.
All right. There we go. Sean Ross Sapp. He is nothing if not a lot. We're gonna just deal with this overlay. None of these are right, but check out Lucas Grandsire's Twitter, top right side of your screen at Grandsire MMA. Jeremy,
don't follow Sean Ross Sapp.
Don't follow Sean Ross Sapp. No. Jeremy, what's your Twitter?
At Jeremy Lambert 88. You can follow me if you want. At Joel Hobart 5 is my actual Twitter. Go follow
Yes,
them.
guys, please follow me. Fight at Fight Shack Fight. I know you don't care. I don't care either, but apparently people in the industry do. Thank you so much for the person who left multiple super chat donations today. Really appreciate that. Hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, leave a like on this video. Let us know what you liked about this watch along, what you didn't. We'll try and do more. Joel Pearl, I'm coming for you. Peace out, everyone. Oh, Lucas, you can say bye too.
Bye.